Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
This week's Sunday session is brought to you by homebrewing source of awesomeness online, More Beer at morebeer.com.
Great beer is about drinkability. Doesn't matter the style.
You guys are like walking beer Wikipedia. That's the first time that you've ever accepted me as a person.
Or you have a fermentation in your gut.
I'm jet propelled at all times.
How many guys do you think that you have the privilege to slap?
Somebody who's never tasted a commercial example, and this is how you know everything about this beer? Please, you don't.
I think that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit too.
Wow. Are you guys going to arm wrestle?
No. We're going to teabag fight instead.
Yeah. You heard of Junkyard Wars?
Can I get another high five, Beavis?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
All right, welcome to the program, everybody. It's a Monday session. Had another nice weekend off, which I'm beginning to really enjoy thoroughly, Moscow.
Don't get too crazy with it, because the meters are still going when you pull up to park, because it's a Monday.
Don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you a little secret about I'm getting to know this Martinez place. And anytime after 4:30, don't bother putting anything in the meter. Even though they say they go till 6, I'm probably not supposed to say all this, but the city can't afford to pay the meter maids after like 4:30.
I thought I saw over there at the Creek Mucker, and I was having a beer before the show. Yeah, I saw her there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the meter maid.
Just chilling out, having a beer.
Yeah, having a beer
after 4:30. Yeah, Paul, you. Oh, there's a seat left for Susie. That's good. Susie Q's here. Yeah, so you don't got to worry about the meters.
I'm too traumatized from my time in San Francisco, and I would think that they're actually lying in order to get you to park so they can ticket you.
Right.
Like, oh, we swear, yeah, there's no officers, just so they can... That's what San Francisco would do.
Sure, but San Francisco, actually, there's money there in San Francisco. There's no... Have you walked around Martinez?
Yeah, there's actually negative money. There's people looking for some.
Doc and I were noticing yesterday, we were in here working on the studio yesterday, and Martinez is kind of dead anyway, but on a weekend, oh boy. And we narrowed it down to what it is about the downtown. It looks perfectly functional, and there are businesses, and it's open, and even the roads are kind of nice and everything, but there's nobody here. It kind of looks like the apocalypse. There's just like 4 people walking around, like the survivors, and it's like a 7-year-old girl just walking down the street and a homeless guy, and Martinez on a weekend, it looks like an apocalypse movie, which I really like because I'm into apocalypse movies. So sometimes I'll just wander around downtown and I'll kill whatever I see.
It reminds me of like Universal Studios, and everything's a facade. There's no real stores. It's all just a front.
Right. So the same goes
for... a movie company down here. This is all zombie movies.
Yeah, it would be perfect. Yeah. I mean, it could...
all the hobos are on there like extras, right? You can just use them as is.
You don't even have to ask them. They don't even have to sign a waiver. They don't know what the hell's happening. Just do it, and you'll revitalize downtown. Yeah. We should shoot a BN zombie movie down here just to kick it off. Yeah. I think Tasty could be our head zombie.
Oh, definitely could.
We don't even have to put on makeup, Tasty.
No, that's right. The guy dead or alive.
So don't worry about the meters after 4:30. Don't tell anybody I told you that.
I can't not worry.
All right. Well, you validate parking anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get a take. I'll bring it straight to the mayor. Now, speaking of the mayor, so JP's not here today because he's hanging out with the president of the United States of America.
Oh, he switched parties.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well, that's
I never thought that would happen.
He writes.
Well, he's no hypocrite, is he?
He writes a cryptic email to me. He writes a cryptic email to me that says, there's a chance, now it's just an off chance, that I might not make the Monday show on account of I'll be meeting the President of the United States. And it's JP, so I'm like, okay, I'll bite. What's the punchline? So actually, I wrote back, I said, well, assuming this is a joke, you're needed on the Monday show. We're short staffed. Nate couldn't be here because of work, and Bevo couldn't be here, but luckily Susie Q can. Doc couldn't be here, and then now JP. So he writes back. He's like, no, it's not a joke. And I said, well, why? You hate him. You hate the president. And if you're a friend of JP's on Facebook, you will understand my commentary. Because he just posts, every third post is like, see? I told you he's a fucking asshole. Like, everything is, see? He's ruining the country. See? We're all dying because of him. See? African babies are dying. Everything is Obama's fault. And so he writes back, oh, no, I don't hate him. I just disagree with him ideologically, but I have a lot of respect for the office. And so,
what?
So anyway... He's actually, I think he met the president today. His niece works for
Dianne Feinstein couldn't be there, so he took her spot? Is that it?
Yeah. Well, there's, Republicans...
Not many people get to meet him, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you get like $1,000.
Right. Doesn't it feel like a wasted meeting since not many people do, and then and the poor guy has to meet JP?
Is he going to look him in the eye, or is he just going to bow his head?
Right. I mean... Luckily, Obama's probably not friends with JP on Facebook, so wouldn't know.
So JP's not on some sort of list that would keep him out of an event like that?
You'd think he was, but apparently he made the clearance, and he put on a suit.
Okay.
So
did he put on a suit?
He put on a suit.
Oh, yeah.
And a hat.
Yeah, a suit and a hat.
Do you have any idea how the logistics work? Like, did he buy a ticket?
So apparently his niece works in the travel department or something. And am I giving away national security information right now? I really don't know.
Now you're getting his niece put in jail.
Right.
Yeah, we'll cut it out in post.
And whatever she does for him, she's allowed to invite family to these travel functions that they do. And there's some rally going on in Oakland tonight. And
his family.
And so JP's family, and so he got invited and jumped at the chance to go, which I think is great. I would too. Yeah. But I would be lying if I didn't say how odd it is that it's JP
of anybody
hanging out with the president.
So there's lots of people gathering in Oakland to see an Obama rally. So what are the chances of that not ending in a riot?
Come on. With JP there, not good.
I'm picturing him tipping over cop cars with the rest of them.
Yeah, he might get crazy. I mean, he's never going to get it. He didn't get a chance to meet George Bush Jr., so he's trying to make up for it, I guess.
I see.
Here. So, but the thing is, he also met the mayor of Martinez last week. Oh. And he met the mayor of Martinez because the guy was in the office just down a couple offices away from us. JP walked by, and our good friend Leanne wanted to introduce him. And JP's introduction went something like, the mayor said, "Hey, hi, nice to meet you. What are you doing?" And JP's answer was, "Oh, well, I'm about to go to the bathroom. What are you guys doing? Keeping it real?"
Keeping it real.
He asked the mayor if he's keeping it real.
Okay.
So he had rehearsed this then.
Yeah. And JP immediately started to turn inside out because he just fumbles in these situations and probably was then very self-conscious. So he comes back to the studio. He's beating himself up. And as JP usually does, he has gas. And he had thoroughly gassed the lower studio, at which point the mayor came into the studio because he wanted to see what it is that we do here. And so then JP's standing there after asking the mayor if he's keeping it real.
Wait, was the mayor keeping it real, in fact?
I guess so. I don't know what the answer was. I think they just laughed at him.
I see.
I don't think they actually answered. He's keeping it real, marinating in JP's stench is what he was doing.
That's pretty fucking real.
So so JP goes from this encounter with the mayor to hanging out with the press today.
It seems like he's gearing up for a run at something, doesn't it? Like he's trying to get in with the right people, or
I hope so.
Who knows?
Get out of here.
Well, that keep it real thing might work with Obama. Actually, he might understand what he's talking about.
You should have saved the line.
You mean Barack?
Right? Obama said, "Yeah, brother, I'm keeping it real."
I'm keeping it, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks for asking. No one's asked me that in a long time.
Really, man.
Yeah.
You're a true liberal.
Right. Now, do you think that JP will come away an enlightened person?
No chance.
No. I wonder what he'll think about his encounter with the president.
He'll twist it somehow.
So anyway.
He'll find some fault in his attire or something.
Yeah. Could you believe what he wore to Oakland?
Cheap suit.
Oh, man. I can't believe. Why would you wear that? You're the president of the United States.
I think we should call him and get him on the air pretty soon.
I was hoping that he would call in, but he's actually going to the rally tonight. There's a rally, I don't know. I think it's probably a campaign rally or something. But don't you think if you were JP that you'd do the meeting, because it's an honor to meet the president, any president. Although I'm not positive I would have shaken hands with George W. But I get it. You go meet the president. But then would you really go to the rally if you really disagree with everything that the man has to stand for? Why not skip that part?
See, this is why something is like there's an ulterior motive, or he's up to something.
He's up to something. You don't think he's a bomber, do you?
Oh, let's not go crazy.
You don't think he's going to unload on those
definitely
people?
Edit that out of post-production.
Yes,
right. Yeah, I know what he's probably just. It's probably just ammunition. He'll be able to say, "Oh no, I heard Obama say it firsthand, so now I really know he's wrong."
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Say it. Yeah.
Which, all right, that's fair.
I won't know. I wasn't there, so he could have said anything. So yeah, that'll be a good argument.
Yeah, the better you know and have exposed yourself to those who you disagree with, the more solid your arguments can be.
Right.
Yeah. Or maybe your mind has changed. One of the two.
Or you could plan the assassination you've been dreaming of.
He's already gotten yanked.
I'm free to laugh at that, but I'm laughing.
You're not allowed to say that about the president,
I don't know
even
if
in
you can.
jest.
They're monitoring the airwaves, so we don't have any waves.
Yeah, the man is already listening.
Yeah, listening to the Brewing Network.
Better watch the door down.
Yeah, he is onto us.
Right. Anyway, so that's where JP is. I thought that was exciting. But I got to come to the studio more often because I'm going. I hear about this encounter with the mayor. And I'm just going, JP, you're killing me, man. I got, listen, I could own this town in a few years, but you're not helping me out any here.
Yeah, let's fix this. Why don't we call the mayor's office, get an appointment?
Yeah.
Everybody go over there except JP.
Right. Introduce ourselves that way.
Ourselves.
I mean, we'll get the mayor down. I was going to get the mayor down here for like a ribbon cutting when we do our actual grand opening.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's going to want to come in the studio now.
Maybe he just thinks he can't keep it real.
He's like, listen, I don't know how to keep it real anymore. So
yeah, and you don't want him running away from the stench with that giant pair of scissors.
It could be ugly,
dangerous situation.
Could be a spark.
That JP, if he does do the whole ribbon cutting thing, JP will just sort of stand in the corner thinking about every word he said, sulking about the whole situation.
He's like a worse you.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
exactly. He's like a me if you amplify all of my faults and phobias.
Right.
Yeah, that's what JP is. I agree with you. Don't tell him that. But I think you're onto something.
I think he knows.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to tell him.
How you doing, Susie Q?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. We haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
What are you up to?
Drinking.
Are you stoned right now?
No.
Put the microphone to your face.
Sorry.
You sound stoned.
I know, I'm just tired. It took an hour and a half to get here.
No. Yeah, that's a long time.
Downtown Martinez is crazy. Like, to get here is crazy. I got off the freeway because I'm like, I think I need to cross the toll.
Oh.
No.
Got down and, drove through, industrial areas.
Sure, you got to drive by the Shell refinery.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, nice.
A big contributor to downtown Martinez, that Shell refinery. Not just money, but
and then I
pollution.
hit traffic right there. There's, nobody here, but I hit traffic.
A bum probably died.
No, everyone was just... I think it's the time of day where everyone gets out and gets into their car.
All the lawyers
and just, sits in traffic and just, pretend that they're in a city still.
Right. There is that part of downtown Martinez that it's the county courthouse is here. So there's a lot of lawyers and criminals here all together at once. There's a big police station here. And you're right. Right around 5, 6 o'clock, there is a mass exodus because... Let's face it, nobody lives in Martinez. you come to Martinez.
It was weird. I turned onto this street and there was nobody.
Right.
And
Apocalypse.
everybody was just
Yeah.
I need to get out. I need to get out. You know, when like in the scary movies where you're going the wrong way.
Yeah. And there's
That's what
just
it
like
felt like.
you and a tumbleweed like rolling down the center of the street. That's Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm glad you made it. Sorry about all the traffic. Tough Monday shows for Susie Q.
It's all right. It was fun.
I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult with this, me wanting to switch to Mondays kind of permanently, because I know you're good with it, Tasty. We don't care. It'd be nice to have your weekends back.
What if we did it a little bit even later, like 7?
Well, then I have a feeling that the East Coast, if we're the Hop Coast, is the East Coast the non-Hop Coast? I don't know how that works. But then it's already 10 o'clock on a Monday night for them. We're going to really alienate our East Coast contingent. Here's what's happening, though. I will say this. Over the next couple of months, we are pretty much every other week doing a Monday show. I scheduled it that way. And it's kind of it's to test the waters. So you might have to quit your job, Susie.
I can usually do Mondays. I can get out normally at an earlier time, but other people are on vacation right now. So I'm like,
I see.
It was just today.
Okay. All right. Well, because, yeah, for example, we've got another Monday show coming up in just a couple weeks, so we're going to be doing more of them. If it goes well, we might do the full switch. It's difficult for Nate, though, too, and I like having Nate on the show. I don't want to sacrifice Nate. But
I miss him already.
Because he, I think he works in Fremont or something, and that's, it's quite a ways away. So we're going to experiment with it and see what happens. Where do you work, Susie Q?
Further.
Even further than that. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's far.
I passed Fremont on the way up here. I can
see
halfway here.
And I knew about that, and I always asked you, I was like, what are you, nuts? Why do you do? But you don't mind the drive? You like driving or something?
I like driving. It's different. I
What do
ride
you
my
do?
bike everywhere.
Oh. So it's just like it's a novelty for you.
Yeah.
The driving. What do you do? Do you listen to music? Do you talk to yourself?
I talk to myself. I listen to music. I talk to people who I think listen to me when I talk. I don't know.
Right. Like people on the road? Like just people next to you?
Yeah. Sometimes in traffic, I like spark up conversation with people next to me.
Hey, buddy. Nice Pinto. Things like that.
It's easier to like avoid people when you're sitting in a car in traffic than on your bicycle. Because this week, dude.
What happened?
You know when you're in a car, if someone's trying to talk to you, you can roll up the window.
Sure.
You can pretend you're on your phone. You can turn up the music.
Is that what you do when you're driving your car to be left alone? Is you pretend you're on your phone? Yes. That sounds safe.
I'm
but
Asian.
Right.
It can't get any safer.
Double whammy.
Susie, you know that's a problem men do not have to deal with.
I know.
You realize we don't have to pretend we're on our phone because people are attempting to talk to us.
Yeah.
By the way, do you ever play the game Asian or Stupid?
Yes.
It's a great game to play.
I also play Sleep or Asian.
Sleep or Asian.
Yeah, like sometimes people look like they're asleep, but no, they're just Asian.
Right. I have to play that one. I've never played it, but I play Stupid or Asian all the time because if you're in the Bay Area now, we've got Ken Weaver on the show today. He's a Bay Area guy. He wrote the Northern California Craft Beer Guide, so you'll understand this. You drive around the Bay Area. If you're behind a shitty driver,
what do you say?
You play Stupid or Asian. They're either Asian or they're just stupid. And you know they're stupid if they're not Asian. So it's just one or the other, obviously. And but I've never played Sleep or Asian. I would hope more often they're Asian than asleep because that sounds dangerous also.
Yeah, you can play when they're walking, too.
Just walking?
Does that guy walk sleepwalking? No, he's just Asian.
He's just Asian. I like this game. I'm going to have to try that. I'll add it to my repertoire.
Speaking of games, a couple of people are asking if there's going to be a Twitter game in JP's absence.
No.
No? Okay.
Just shows you.
No, I don't even like it when JP's here.
That was easy.
But he what am I going to do? I got to throw the guy a bone. I don't have a Twitter game.
Oh, God.
So, no, we won't be doing the Twitter game. All right, so Susie Q's in the chat room. You can hit the chat button on our homepage and send questions to us. Like I said, we've got Ken Weaver in the studio, and he's the author of the all-new book, The Northern California Craft Beer Guide. And it's got a foreword by the one and only Ken Grossman, which is pretty impressive. Nice work, Ken. Is it a Ken thing? Did he do it just... He's like, oh, I'm a Ken.
That was probably it.
That's all it was. He's like, I don't know this guy, but... So I've got the book in my hand. We're going to be talking all about it. If you've got questions, hit the chat button. And Allie is in the room, too. And you did all the photos in the book, Allie. And we'll be talking about those also because there are some great photographs. And there's a lot of them. So Tasty and I like this book a lot because it has a lot of pictures.
That's right. It's easy reading. It's
kind of our thing.
Our viewing.
Right. Exactly. So we'll be talking about that. We got a few other things to do. We're going to be talking to our old friend Stu Stewart. He's from Belgian Beer Me. You might remember back in 2008 he was on the program, and he does the Belgian beer tours, which I always think, there were two companies I could have started to kind of take the lazy, drink a lot of alcohol approach to a career. And I think I chose the wrong one. It was Beer Radio, where you just talk about it. Or it would be Beer Travel, where you take people around to see the best beer places in the world. And that's what Stu does. And I think I fucked up. I think he...
No, because you'd have to interact with all those people personally. You know, the ones that are on your tours.
I couldn't do it with a microphone.
No, and they're not in the room. No, it doesn't work that way.
Because I thought I would do it sort of like those audio tours. Even though I would be there in person, I'd make them all put on a
Headphones.
Walkman.
Sure.
And I would just sort of wave. I'd pre-record the whole thing.
You'd outsource it like you did this job.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be my voice. It'd be Susie's voice. But I'd mouth it. And it would be in every language, But I think Stu's got the gig, man. So we're going to find out about Belgian Beer Me. And he's got Bamberg Beer Me as well. He's doing tours all over the place now. So he's going to come on about 7 o'clock, so in just a little while, and we'll talk about that. Few announcements for you today. First of all, our great sponsor, Nico Brew, has got 10 varieties of hops on sale for $10 a pound for 10 days. The only thing is it started Saturday, so I'm a couple days late on this, so there's not exactly 10 days left in the whole thing. But it will run until 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Tuesday, the 31st of July. And also, he's gotten quite a bit of orders already, so he said shipping might just take an extra couple of days, so hang in there. But it should still get there relatively on time. So 10 varieties of hops on sale for $10 a pound. Is that good, Tasty?
That is great. I got 2 pounds I ordered from him. And
you did?
$5 shipping, $25 delivered.
For 2 pounds of hops?
$12.50 a pound in my hand.
That's amazing.
It's wonderful.
That's a really good deal. All right, so go to nicobrew.com and check it out right now. Also, while you're online, you can go to our store. We got glassware and merchandise in there, a bunch of new stuff, and a bunch of old stuff. All of our old festival shirts are in there. Please take them. Please.
For the love of God.
I'm begging you. Please take them. And we got glassware in there and hats. I've got new hats on order, too, that are pretty cool. All right, you can view the forum on all mobile devices now, I'm told. So just go to our... click on the forum button on our homepage, and I think you'll be able to get the mobile version of the forum. For those of you who just can't get enough beer talk. What else? iPhone and Android apps are back, and they are in the both iTunes and the Android Marketplace. Just search BN Mobile. And they work all the time now that the new studio's up, so... That's kind of cool. And they're free also. You can watch all this live on justin.tv/brewing network. Subscribe and join the BN Army. It helps us help you. All these updates and more on Twitter and Facebook. And Scott the Jew is available for show ideas at scott@thebrewingnetwork.com. Send all of your show ideas to Moscow because I don't pay attention. And send feedback to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com.
Amazon?
Oh, yeah, you can shop through Amazon. We have an Amazon link right there on our homepage. And you shop just like you normally do, except if you click that link first, then we get a little bit of your cash. And it costs you the same thing, but we get some of it, and that's kind of rad.
I'm really tempted to make a game out of that thing, by the way. Like, what messed up item did a weirdo in our audience purchase this week?
That is a good game.
It's some people... Yeah.
Do it. And you could come up with, like, 4... whacked out items.
Right. And
we have to pick which one is the real one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. New game coming up.
I like it. That's a good idea. And don't worry, Moscow doesn't get your names when you order. He just sees what items, because they give us a report so we know what our commission is. But fear not, we're not seeing...
Just your first name and the city you live in, that's it.
Right. Yeah. But that is a good game. All right, speaking of good games, you can go to adamandeve.com right now, adamandeve.com. Or if you're on your mobile phone, they have a mobile site, too, if you just can't wait. And for a limited time only, if you use coupon code BNARMY, BNARMY, you get to pick 3 free adult DVDs with your order. And you can choose from all sorts of things, like anal, and amateur, and Asian, and big breast. Do you know that they sent this to me specifically and were like, oh, and you should read the categories. And big butts and bisexual.
Did they say you should read the category or you must read the category?
Must. They basically said here we got some new copy. We're excited about the new copy. And it's really the same copy except to emphasize the categories.
They know their business.
Hang on, I'm not done yet, Tasty. Chunky, co-eds, fetish, gay, interactive point of view, which is kind of fun. You don't have to see the face of the dude in the interactive point of view, so you could pretend it's you. What a great concept.
Perfect.
Lesbian, MILFs, and etc. So a lot of different categories.
I heard they're going to add a new one, BN Brewcaster.
Oh, that's a great category.
Yeah, they're adding that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get some JP presidential videos in that category. Anyway,
I think get Bevo in the milking and popping.
Is that a category? Milking and popping?
I just made it up.
I'm going to add that. Let's see. MILFs and milking and popping.
No, there's no G.
That's a great concept.
Popping.
We'll do that. We'll fix that in a rewrite.
Anyway, the cool deal is if you use coupon code BNARMY, you get 50% off just about any item. You get 3 free adult DVDs, and you can choose them. You get a special gift that we're not supposed to tell you about. And did I say free shipping already? And you get free shipping on the whole thing. So it's a pretty good deal.
It's a good deal.
I've been shopping there this week, but I just can't pull the trigger. There's so many options, and I just don't know which ones to get. And I end up loading my cart with a bunch of things and then just not doing any of it because I can't decide. I'm very indecisive when it comes to adult activities. So anyway, but don't be like me. Go to adamandeve.com right now and check it out. All right, should we do feedback? I think we've got time to do feedback for once, the beginning of the show. It's 2 weeks in a row, I believe. Am I right?
We're on schedule? Wow.
Yeah. All right, let's do that.
Oh, my God.
You've got mail.
Kick ass.
All right, feedback's brought to you today by HopTech Homebrew. You can go to hoptech.com, check it out right now. They're one of our local shops down there in Dublin, California, but you can shop online with them, and they are cool people. I got yelled at from Jade, the owner, because I called her a cool lady. She came up to me at a festival, and she's like, listen, I'm really upset with you. And I said, I thought I fucked up one of her commercials. And she said, I'm not a cool lady, all right? You can call me like a groovy bitch.
Badass motherfucker.
Yeah, like a bad, yeah.
You're being too nice.
But I am not a cool lady. So I take it all back, Jade. You are a badass bitch. Yeah. Go to hoptech.com. Check it out right now. All right. Donald writes in. He disagrees with me that Steel Panther is like Whitesnake. He says they're much more like Firehouse than Whitesnake. Remember them with the hits that Bevo doesn't care about, like Don't Treat Me Bad and Love of a Lifetime? I do. I'm probably the only one in the room who remembers Firehouse. Anybody else? Allie, don't lie over there. No? You weren't a metalhead back in the day? All right. But the point about Steel Panther is that each song is like a different metal band. Yeah. So, like, one song is like Bon Jovi, and the next one is like Whitesnake, and the next one's like Firehouse. So I'm sorry, Donald, but you're only partially right. All right, Tim writes in. My forum name is Burt Boys Brewing, and I just wanted to drop a line to tell you all you're awesome, except for JP. The other day, I needed to buy some shirts, and instead of going to the Walmart, I decided it would be funny to purchase some of your $5 specials. So I'll be sporting vintage BNA4 T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Those are nice.
He says, I feel like it's old band tour shirts. LOL. And proudly doing it. Keep up the great job from Tim. Yeah, you can buy our old festival shirts for like $5. That's... Are we out doing Walmart now?
Definitely.
This is fantastic.
Our clearance rack is a great clearance rack.
Yes.
Yes. Is that Canadian Tim?
I hope so. That would be great. I don't know. It might be the same Tim. All right, Derek writes in. Hey, y'all, I just want to send a brief heartfelt thank you. I just became one of the first 3 certified Cicerones in Iowa. Good job. Oh, yeah. He said it's in no small part thanks to the wealth of information that you put out for us. Keep up the great work from Derek. Hey, you're welcome, and good job on becoming a Cicerone. All right. Noah writes in, hey, all, I just wanted to say a quick thanks for helping me out with my brewing. I found the networks back in December of last year and have had you in my ear holes every day at work since then. I average about 2 to 2.5 shows a day. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna take its toll, buddy.
We apologize.
I just finished every single session, and he says that we're up to 294 episodes. I might need you to confirm that. Should we celebrate when we reach 300 episodes?
I think it seems a little light. I think we've done more than that.
Listeners are usually more accurate than we are.
Bruce Strong and the real show.
Oh, no, just the session. I think we've done more. Yeah. I think you were at that before my time. And I'll double check.
Yeah, check it out. He says, you've helped me so much and inspired to finally do something that I like for a living. So I signed up for the American Brewers Guild Craft Apprenticeship Brewers Program, slated to start in January of 2014, and I can hardly wait. Well, that's good, man. Follow the dream, buddy. Be broke, but brew beer. It's fantastic, right, man. I'm telling you. No, it's good job. Don't do something you hate for a living. What a waste of life. He says, I do have one rant about something I noticed about every single episode of the session that occurs around the third Monday of January. He wants me to read this in an angry voice, but I'm not going to. He says, Justin, you hack. The third Monday of January is a day set aside for a very important civil rights leader, someone who should be recognized as a person who advanced us as a country for the better. So get the man's name right. And here he's correcting me. He says, it's Martin Luther. It's not Martin Luther the King. It's Martin Luther King, you jackass. Okay. This is from Noah. Noah. You fucking retard. I know the man's name. Everybody knows that it's Martin Luther King. However, I have so much respect for the man and what he's done for this country that I have dubbed him Martin Luther the King. And technically, I'm not really the one who did that. I think it was in, like, Coming to America or something. So get with the What am I? Am I that much? Do I come across as that much of an idiot, Moscow, that I don't know Martin Luther the King's name?
Well, yeah, I mean, Martin Luther King the King is redundant. So obviously you've shortened it because you were a man of the radio.
I mean, I get corrected on a lot of things, but I never thought that someone would honestly think, like, they're listening to the program, and every time it comes around, I say it's Martin Luther King Day, they're like, man, that Justin is stupid. He doesn't even know that his name is Martin Luther King.
I'm glad that you don't call him Dr. Martin Luther King, because it used to be Reverend Martin Luther King,
sure,
and then now it's somehow become Doctor. And I'm glad you dropped the qualifier and just call ML by his MEZ by his name.
Well, sometimes if I'm being dramatic, I will add a Reverend if I want to elongate the name even further.
But you'll go Reverend, not Doctor.
Yeah,
that's what I'm giving you credit for.
Yeah. But I never thought I'd be corrected on that. I mean, the guy really thought I didn't know his name. I graduated something, you know. I went to school. I went to public school. You have to celebrate Martin Luther King Day in public school. And I went to college. I went to the Diablo Valley College right here in Contra Costa County.
That's the real deal there, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And Martin Luther King.
It's not the King. It's not just King.
He took the time to write that to me. He's like, and another thing that's been bothering me all these years. It's not the King, you know.
That was his last name, was King. And I mean, I know you revere him as a king, like royalty, but actually it's just his last name was King.
And you're not honoring his name. You're not giving him the right proper respect by adding words to his name. Because his name, and he did a lot of important things. I don't know if you know this, but he was a black civil rights leader. One of the, if you will, black civil rights leaders. Adding a "the" to his name is not very respectful.
No. Took time out of his day to let me know that. Thanks, buddy.
Don't forget the junior, either.
Well, there, gee.
Yeah. So here's a potential correction from our Brazil beer show. Are you going to write? You should write a book about beer in Brazil, Ken.
I'm going there next month.
Are you really? Yeah. To do some writing or just for travel?
To do some research.
Oh, yeah. And I'm only saying that because doesn't it just seem like a fantastic place to go spend some time?
It does.
And if you could write a book while you're there, make a little dough, what a great
Even
thing.
better.
I would leave Allie behind if I were you.
She's got work.
Perfect. I mean, Allie's lovely, don't get me wrong, but Brazil, you know. What happens in Brazil? Isn't that what they say? Isn't that the motto for travel to Brazil?
I think you've got that confused with other places.
I see. The Vegas is what I think I have that confused with. Okay, but there are some corrections. Alessandro writes in, hey, I've been a fan since 2007, and listen to the last Sunday session featuring some of the local craft and homebrew scene down here in Brazil, which was great. But at some point it was mentioned that the path, I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit here because the English isn't very good. The path from homebrew to professional brewing to becoming a commercial brewer, we had said on the show that it's just a piece of paper, like it's easy to do. Like you could start selling your homebrew. And we didn't say it, but our guests had kind of said there's not a whole lot of regulation. But according to Alessandro here, he says, I'm a home brewer, but I do have some friends that are in the professional business. So his corrections are, and I did not corroborate them, I'm just going to throw them out there. If you're that interested, you can go look it out. He says, first, the zoning part must be respected. If it's not an industrial zone, you cannot open a brewery. And by the way, I do think that one of our guests, in fact, the home brewer that was on, I think he said that you couldn't just have a professional brewery in your home.
He did define that better, yes.
So I think he did kind of clarify that. He says there's no brew pub regulation down here. If you want a brew pub, you must open a pub and a brewery. And the brewery must respect the city zoning. So, again, I guess you can't just have a restaurant and throw a brewery in there. It's got to be zoned for that. You have to have sanitary approval from the city, of course. Well, I'm all for that.
They don't do that here.
Not in Martinez. Oh, you mean anywhere?
Yeah, really, they don't really care too much about your brewery.
Yeah, you know, if it's only like dairy and meat products that they do that.
They don't come and check.
Well, that's good. Well, I wish they would. You must have a chemical person responsible. He doesn't say, it's a little, he kind of ended his English there. But I don't know what he's responsible for, but I suppose the chemicals you're using. A brewery is considered an industry as any other, so strict laws and regulations do apply. Any label must be approved by the agricultural government agency first, so that you have to also have label approval, just like we have here. And there's also heavy taxes over beer production and distribution, and the bigger breweries pay less taxes. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't like the sound of that. So he says, these are just some things that I remembered now, and it seems to me that it's very similar to the USA in the regulation of how things work. So really makes things harder. What makes things harder are the taxes, which are very high, and the fact that almost all ingredients are imported, which raises the cost yet again. The craft brewers have tried for some years now to get heard by the government about taxes, making protests and petitions, but instead taxes were raised this year over beer and soda drinks. What happens here a lot is that many homebrewers have great beer names, great labels, and they sell the beer at some pubs or events, which is, of course, illegal, but tolerated to some extent. I hope that I could help and keep the great content from Alessandro. So thank you for that. Like I said, I didn't corroborate that information, but we don't know much about anything over here anyway, so it's always good to get a second opinion. And, it is. I think that, again, our homebrewer guest last week, sorry that his name is escaping me.
Mr. Rosa.
Ah, there you go.
Ricardo Rosa.
I think he was kind of saying that, yeah, some people do label and sell their beer, but it's highly illegal, just like it would be here. Right. And technically, I mean, we could do it. Tasty could go to parties that he goes to, and instead of donating the beer all the time, if he wanted to, he could say, yeah, it's $40 a case, but it would be highly illegal. It'd
be illegal, but you could do it.
You know, so it's the same as anywhere, I suppose. You're not selling your beer, right, Tasty?
No.
He could, though. People would buy it.
Oh, yeah, in droves.
Yeah, I could just privately contract with somebody. I'll say, a 5-gallon keg for $80 or something.
Right. Well, just look how well Janet's Brown does every time it gets made at Russian River. I mean, that beer sells out pretty quick, doesn't it?
I'll just have it made at Russian River, and then I'll sell it myself. Yeah.
See, you're smart. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Is there such thing? I mean, is it ever a possibility that Vinny would want to have that beer at Russian River all the time? Was that ever discussed?
No.
Why not?
Because he doesn't need to do that.
Well, he doesn't need to do a lot of things he does.
Well, but he doesn't even have the capacity to add another full-time beer. He does. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tasty, but Vinny does that beer for a couple of reasons. He likes Tasty, and he loves that beer. But it's also out of respect. He likes the
collaboration itself.
Yeah, he likes the collaboration itself. He likes the story behind Janet's Brown, I think, like we all do. Yeah. And so he never really had to brew that beer. I just think he thought it'd be an awesome thing to do.
He certainly didn't have to brew it the second and third time.
Right.
I mean, the first time it was the Pro-Am, so certainly
that's right, yeah.
Like now we're trying to do it a fourth time. He originally said we'd do it in July, and then now he's telling me it's going to be August or September. Because just like you said, he doesn't really have the capacity to sneak a beer in. And this is on the pub system, which is like a 20-barrel knockout.
Yeah.
So, it's going to, as the demand for his beer gets higher and higher, it's going to be harder and harder to sneak my beer in. So it may, it's kind of, it might miss a year, and then who knows, it might miss 2 years or something like that.
I was thinking about Vinny's beer philosophy the other day.
His model?
Mm-hmm. His model. Mm-hmm. And what made me start thinking about it was that I was looking at the beer news, and Dogfish Head was posting pictures of their new tank farm. Tons of enormous 300-barrel fermenters. Mm-hmm. And they're putting in 6 or 8, or I don't know, don't quote me, a shitload of them. They're putting in a tank farm, which I think I'm not against. I think it's fantastic. That's another beer model.
Everybody's doing it.
And Dogfish, and a lot of breweries are doing that. Exactly. And if I think it's part of the American dream, and certainly the craft beer dream. Sam started out as really a small brewery. Really a small brewery. He was brewing a half a barrel at a time, right? Yeah. On a pub system. And it's turned into this, and I wish him great success and wealth. But Vinny could do the same thing. And he did open a production facility, of course, but he every step of the way, and he's talked about it on this show, really the beer has to be perfect. And I mean perfect. He really wants to be perfect every time. And so I don't foresee, at least in the near future, a tank farm showing up in Santa Rosa at Russian River. Even though he has to say no to new accounts right now. New bars open up and they want Pliny, and the man has to say, no, I don't have enough beer for you.
He's saying no to new accounts, but think what else he's saying no to. He's saying no to, I kind of want your $5 million, Mr. Banker, to open up a Russian River brewery in Detroit.
Right.
And serve, all these people. I don't want your millions of dollars. He's saying no to that.
Yeah. And I respect that. I like that about his.
You got to admire the guy.
And I think also he likes to have his hands in. I know this sounds like a Vinny commercial, but believe me, he's not a sponsor of the program. I was genuinely thinking about this. He likes to have his hands in every part of the business, especially the beer making part. And the farther you get into in mass quantities of beer and distribution, the farther away from, I think, the brewing you have to get, because there's so many other parts of the business that need attention. And he's not exactly a local to us, but he's close enough. How long did it take you to get there? You go there all the time, Tasty.
Like an hour and 20 minutes.
I thought you just have a helicopter that takes you right there or something. He's like an hour away, so he's kind of one of our locals. And I just appreciate that one of the best brewers in the country and has that kind of business philosophy. I like it. I respect the guy for it. So I wish I could get more of his beer like everybody else in the world. Yeah. And, of course, that's always the argument, isn't it? For people outside of California. Well, but, God, we want to get Pliny, too. But he just feels, well, I'll get it to you when I can, but it's not going to happen right now.
It's not going to change. He's at capacity, and that's the way it's all we're going to get right now.
And, there's, especially with the barrel projects and the sour beers, the ones that I really love that he makes, that's just not really something that you can do on a mass scale. I mean, I don't see that. I think I'd be pretty disappointed if all of a sudden I could just buy beatification all the time. Now, does that sound stupid as a beer guy, that I actually wish that I can't get it every time I want it? But there's something about it, and it lets me know how special of a beer it is.
Well, there's an anticipation for consecration.
Yeah.
Think about what he says he has a boutique wine remodel. What does that mean? What think about wine? Well, the more popular it is, the more you charge for it.
Right.
So his revenues are still going to go up.
Sure.
Even though he's not making more beer.
Oh, see, he's also smart.
Very smart.
I like that. See, I'm an idiot. I'm just
boutique
he doesn't have more barrels. But
I mean, we're paying. Let's see, the beatification every once in a while they release is like, now it's in smaller bottles,
right?
And they use, the per 750 price has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah,
if you figure out the 375s.
Oh, it's worth
much
every
more
drop,
than half.
though.
Yeah, and people are paying.
I opened one the other night, Tasty. And God damn it, that's a good beer.
The ones I hooked you up with.
Oh yeah. And Moscow got me a couple bottles after that too. I got double hooked up, Tasty. But I because I like the beer so much, I don't touch them. They just sit there. But I opened one finally the other day.
Well, selling beer, you gotta, we gotta check it once in a while,
right?
But you gotta decide whether it's getting better or not getting better. So,
sure. Right. Yeah. Oh, I was very discerning, Tasty. Yeah.
Good. I don't want you to what is this shit?
Yeah. Oh, it's good beer. Ken, you like sour beer?
We're 5 blocks from Russian River.
Oh, you live 5 blocks? Oh, you're kidding me. You listen to you guys. That's fantastic. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. They also have the best happy hour on planet Earth. Yeah. It's every Sunday all day long. Yeah. And what is it? $3.50 a pint?
Is it like $3.50, $3.25?
It's like cheap. It's like that for some of the best beer on the planet.
3 of the best IPAs on the West Coast.
Yeah. Does do the sour beers on tap go for happy hour prices on Sundays? Not are they discounted at all?
I don't think so.
On Sundays, they're not.
Yeah.
And you can't get a growler of the sours either, which is always disappointing. Yeah. But I get it. It's small quantities.
You appreciate it more.
Yeah. So how many times a week are you two at?
We're up there quite a bit.
Yeah. I would be too. Just what a great local to have. Anyway, all right, enough about Vinny. But I was sitting around appreciating his business model.
Yep.
So I thought it was worth mentioning. All right, a lot to get to today. When we come back, we're going to talk to Stu Stewart. And Stu Stewart is from Belgian Beer Me. You might remember back in 2008, we had him on the program. And he's a good guy with a great business plan and, more importantly, a great way to see the world through beer. So we'll talk to him when we come back. And also, we're going to be talking to Ken Weaver. He's got the Northern California Craft Beer Guide. And if I remember right, I think the Brewing Network is mentioned in the beer guide.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. That was your ticket in onto the show right there. You know.
Good move, Ken.
Played that right, yeah.
All right.
Suggestion.
Hang in there. It's the session. We'll be right back with more.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hi, I'm Jamel Zanishev, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Home Brewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your home brew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zanishev. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
Nico, listen, our lawyers said that we had to do this for 1 hour, and after this, we don't have to talk to each other for 3 more months to the next meeting.
Kids, come on, let's get out of here.
I'm supposed to have more lines. I'm the professional. Hey, it's Sully.
And I'm Nico.
And we opened the 21st Amendment 9 years ago at 563 2nd Street in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park, to make great beer and have a great time doing it.
That's right, because to us, the 21st Amendment is more than just the right to make beer. It's the right to experiment, to be innovative, and just do things differently. And so now, we're putting our craft beer in cans.
That's right, cans. You can find our world-famous Hell or High Watermelon Wheat Beer and Brew Free or Die IPA throughout California and Alaska.
And now it's also available on draft at select accounts in the Bay Area.
So next time you're at your local neighborhood pub or good beer store, be sure to ask for 21st Amendment in cans.
Because everyone likes it in a can.
Tasty crack cans.
Tasty crack
can. Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Cut hours off your brewing sessions by using one of our 11 varieties of famous Williams malt extract. Our Williams Belgian Pale Extract is mashed with pure Belgian 2-row malt and a small percentage of Belgian wheat malt for an authentic Belgian character you just can't get from other extracts. Or check out our unique fermenters, 2.5-gallon kegs, paintball tank-based draft beer equipment, bottling aids, and much more. We even have our own line of precision hydrometers. Go to williamsbrewing.com to browse our vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way.
Are you a member of the American Homebrewers Association? Well, you should be. Members of the AHA can focus on brewing beer, and the AHA takes care of the rest. The American Homebrewers Association advocates on behalf of homebrewers like you to legalize the hobby in all 50 states and make sure that beer laws make sense. Plus, there are many great benefits that come with your AHA membership, like pub discounts that give you awesome deals at bars, restaurants, breweries, and more. Zymergy Magazine and eZymergy Gamergy for tons of articles, how-tos, easy-to-follow recipes, and news about the hobby you love. And access to the members-only content on homebrewersassociation.org. But the AHA can't do it without your support. Join today so the American Homebrewers Association can keep fighting for your home brewing rights. Visit homebrewersassociation.org or join right now from the homepage of the Brewing Network website. Relax. Don't worry. It's the American Homebrewers Association.
This is www.thebrewingnetwork.com.
Sit down next to it, grab yourself a paper towel, and watch those yeast have sex.
You're listening to the Brewing Network.
The Session.
Brewing up our next batch of radio gold.
Right now.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for sticking with us. We're tasting Tasty's Blonde Ale right now. Is that what you call it, just your Blonde Ale?
Yeah, American Blonde, so it's like a West Coast blonde.
Was this for your summer drinking tour?
Yeah.
I know how you're at new barbecue.
I've been developing this American Blonde for a while, and then which I've been brewing it typically about 4.8%. And then some brewer came to me and said he wants to do a session beer like more like at 4%, so I kind of modified it, trying to get closer to that. But it came out about 4.3. But it's got a lot of the it's got big Belgian Pilsner portion of the base, but it's obviously it's 68% two-row, 13% Belgian Pils, 13% Crystal 15, 3% Crystal 40, and 3% wheat malt. And started at 1043 and it finished at 1010. It's like dry as a bone. I got a whole bunch of Crystal 15 and a bunch of 40, and it just comes out too dry. So
yeah,
it's sort of a problem that I can deal with. I'll just add a bunch more Crystal 40 and sweeten it up
and keep everything else the same.
And I actually add a few more hops.
Why the Belgian Pilsner malt instead of a?
I just like the character.
Okay,
I don't know. It's only 13%. I don't think you could probably tell the difference between German and Belgian in there.
I see.
That's what I just typically call for. In the Tasty APA, it's like 23% Pilsner. There you can probably tell.
Okay. Yeah, it is kind of it is really dry, which kind of will mask the rest of the beer. I'm not tasting much of anything else because of the dryness.
Yeah, it's just dry. It's like beer only.
It's just beer. It's just super dry beer.
It's not like hop forward. It's not hop forward.
Not, right. But that wasn't intended to be, I assume.
Well, no, I would like it eventually to be.
Okay.
So, again, I'm encouraged that now I can add a bunch more Crystal and increase the hops.
Right.
To balance that out and make it I'd love nothing better than make a 4% beer that's full of body, full of caramel character, and still be a session beer.
Yeah.
Instead of your summer drinking tour, I feel like you should call it your summer tour of drinking, and that way people can be like, "Man, did you catch Tasty's 2012 STD?" Boy, not to be missed.
You don't want to get that, or do you want to get that? Oh,
we could sell T-shirts for that.
It is good.
Fantastic.
T-shirts, oh great.
That's pretty good. I don't know if you. I wouldn't punch you in the face if you brought this out on the golf course, Tasty. I'll tell you that.
Maybe like a kick in the shins maximum.
It's supposed to be a session beer, but to me, it's not very satisfying without the little more sweetness.
Yeah. Which is weird. We're never asking for that in here. We're always asking for beer to be drier, but you've really listened.
I've got a
not too far.
Excess amount of Hop Stupid clone, and I'm going to blend them together.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That'll be excellent.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I'd like to try that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. We've got Stu Stewart on the line, I hope. So far, the new studio has worked flawlessly.
Oh, way to jinx it.
Yeah. Hey, Stu, you there, buddy?
See? What a dick.
No, I had a feeling. That's why I did that, because I could hear him in the background. I was afraid he couldn't hear me. Hey, Stu, you can't hear me at all, buddy? That's no good. I hear him, though. Maybe he just went for a beer. I have to reboot everything, otherwise it's going to be messy. I'm typing to him on the radio. I'll just do the whole interview over typing.
Yeah.
I'll read back what he says.
Just mic up the key. It's going to sound something like.
Yeah, that's Stu. That's Stu's,
good points, dude.
That's Stu's deep voice. He's not seeing my typing, though, either. Which is unfortunate because I don't know how to tell him to call the 800 number. Let me hang up on him and call him again. Let's try this once more.
You want me to tell him to call the phones?
Let's try this again. You there?
Hey, Stu, can you hear me? Yeah, he can't hear us. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute, will you?
Oh, sure.
Hi, you got anything in the chat there, Susie?
No.
Susie's a professional.
We were talking about buying delirium.
Do you have to throw anybody
trying
out?
that.
Okay.
I haven't tried. Everyone's being tame. It's Monday. Come on.
It's a nice Monday.
I wonder, yeah, there is a significant difference, I think, in the Monday chat room and the Sunday chat room. And I get a lot of complaint from people when we do Monday sessions.
Why?
I don't know. People like to complain, but people like the Sundays.
There's less use of the word vagina.
See, that's already a huge problem.
Oh.
Well, wouldn't people
Step
more
it
have
up,
to
boys.
be home on Monday? Or it seemed like Sunday you'd be out more than...
Yeah, it's like a school night or something.
Yeah.
But I always thought of Sunday as a school night, too. I could never really enjoy Sundays because I knew in the back of my mind that tomorrow was Monday.
Yeah.
You know?
Then you get a job, and you realize you can fuck off the first half of the day.
You get a, what was that?
You could fuck off the first half of the day.
Oh, I was the job.
The job thing. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm not familiar.
You don't speak of the job thing?
No.
Okay.
How's that?
Hey, Stu, can you hear me now?
Yep, I'm here now.
Oh, there we go. See, that wasn't so bad. We got to...
What's that?
it was my fault, Stu. Sorry about that.
No problem. I thought it was my fault.
No, I mean I'll blame it on you eventually, but not until you're off the air. Then I'll tell everybody who really screwed it up. But, yeah. Stu Stewart, everybody. He's from Belgian Beer Me, and like I said, you might remember he was on the show back in 2008 with just a great company, an idea for a job. I told you guys I think I screwed up by choosing the radio path. I should have done the beer travel path.
Hey, you should have stole Stu's idea.
Yeah, Stu had a right after that show in 2008. I should have quit and stolen the whole model. Is what I should have done. Stu, but a lot's been happening. You know, back then you were doing a couple of tours, and now you're doing it like all year long, right?
Yes. When I talked to you, I was just getting the tour company off the ground, and the plan was to have 3 tours, but now I've expanded to 6 tours each year to Belgium, and I've expanded into Bamberg, Germany.
Oh, that's a good move, by the way.
Yeah.
Why Bamberg and not other parts of Germany, by the way?
Well, what's interesting about Bamberg is it has the highest concentration of breweries in the world. There's 10 breweries right in the city. Everything's close together. And whereas a lot of parts of Germany, for example, Cologne just specialize in Kolsch, or you go to Dusseldorf and it's alt beer. You go to Bamberg and there's a variety.
I see. See, I would have learned that on the tour. I wouldn't have known that. And I've been to Germany 3 or 4 times now. I always go to the Bavarian Germany, though. But I wouldn't have known which region to pick that had a variety of beer. Because I will tell you this, and maybe you can help me here, Stu. Germans think of beer as the beer that's in their region. In other words, if you ask Bavarians about where to go for beer, they say, well, you're here. Here you go. You have Helles here in Bavaria, and you have Hefeweizen here in Bavaria. And if you start to, a lot of people, at least common people at the bar, you start to ask, well, wait a minute, but what about like alt beer and Rauch beer? And if they know about it, they tend to, you'll often get a bewildered look like, oh, you think that's good beer. But more often, they wouldn't even know about it. Do you find that to be the case, that it's a very regional type of a beer scene there?
Yeah, no matter where you go, everybody thinks they have the best beer.
Right. That's very German anyway. We have the purest beer right here.
Well, they're probably right.
Yeah. They are right. Everywhere you go.
That's all there is
they're right at that time. So, well, that's good to know. So Bamberg has more variety of beer.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a whole Bamberg beer tour, because it will get me out of my Bavarian region. I could go do something else for once when I go to Germany.
I like that you've
I'm a creature of habit.
You've been to Germany so many times you've lost count. Not a bad life. 3, 7, I'm not real sure.
I'm such a creature of habit, though. I do this. And this is why I think that something like a beer tour is such a great idea, and for people like me, because I like familiar things. Even though I really enjoy traveling, I like to travel to familiar places. So I found wonderful things that I like in Bavaria, and I miss them when I'm gone. So when I'm going back to Germany, I'm like, oh, I really want to go see those things again. I miss them, and I miss those people. And so that's why I go to the same places every single time.
Have you ever done a proper tour when you've been there? Or it's been all just you
and friends. If, I like to do the local thing. So if people that live there will show me around, and I think that's a great way to see a place. But I think the way Stu does it is a great way to see stuff that I would never see otherwise. And Stu, do you find...
I just want to point out for the record that the area that Bamberg is in is called Franconia, which technically is the northern end of Bavaria.
It's the name of an Outcast album as well, isn't it?
I think you're very close. Well, that's an even better point. Well, everyone knows I suck at geography anyway, but I'm so central to Bavaria that I'm like a German. The Germans, like in Munich, they don't know that part of Bavaria exists either. They're like, oh no, that's not Bavaria. We are Bavaria.
They know, they just don't admit it because the people in southern Bavaria and then the people in Franconia, they don't see eye to eye. The Franks up north, even though they're part of Bavaria, they claim no allegiance towards it. You'll never see the blue and white Bavarian flag flying in Franconia. You'll see the red and white flag with the red diamonds. So that's why.
Interesting. What is it's clearly a political disagreement, or?
Yeah, I mean, historically, at some point, Franconia became part of Bavaria, but they have never really pledged their allegiance to it, and they are very independent people up there.
I see. Well, let them be. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Sounds like a great place to tour, though. So what is the idea around a Belgian beer tour, or in this case, a Bamberg beer tour? Do you just cram as much, daily beer activity as you can into how many days?
Now, I do 2 tours to Bamberg each year. I do one in the spring, I do one in the fall. And the one in the spring is the beer garden tour, so we spend a lot of time going to different beer gardens. They call them the beer kellers there. And then in the fall, we specialize in tracking down all the great Bock beers.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. You have a lot of drunk tour mates when you do the Bock beers, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the job. I have to get those people around.
Babysitting.
How many people go on a tour?
Well, the average, my tours go typically between about 6 and 26, but I say they average 10 to 15 people.
And for how many days?
Some tours are 6 days long, and some are as many as 10 days.
How many days do they feel like?
Right.
Well, I always tell my people, I say, you're gonna be here for 6 or 10 days, so don't go crazy on your first night. Have a glass of water for every beer you have, and then your constitution will thank you later.
That's good advice. How many people listen to your advice?
Not very many.
It's impossible not to. Yeah, I always think that, but then how do you not go nuts on the first night of
You're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been driving or flying, whatever. You're there, and it's impossible.
But here's another thing. So help me out with this, Stu. Part of the issue I have with tours is regiment. It's all scheduled and it's planned, and that's difficult enough when it's a non-drinking tour. When you're specifically there to explore the beer scene, and then, do you have these people up at 8 a.m. every day? We got to go do the next thing. It seems like it could become difficult.
No, we rarely get moving before 10 a.m.
Oh, that's better.
And we usually, depending on which tours you're talking about, I typically... in Bamberg, we tend to visit a lot more breweries because we're really close together, and we're not always taking tours of the whole facility. We're just a lot of times just sampling the beer so we can hit a bunch of them. But in Belgium, I typically don't do more than 2 breweries a day, and maybe just even 1, because I think it's really important for people to have that unstructured time to just shop or sleep in or have some time with their spouse or just explore or drink beer or whatever.
Be hungover, whatever you have to do. Now, see, that's fantastic. I think it's a good idea for Belgium, too, because, for one, the beer can be a little stronger, obviously, than German beer. But, yeah, a couple of breweries. I'll go see breweries that I wouldn't have chosen to see, probably, because you've got it scheduled for me. But then I've got the rest of the day to do what I want. That's a great tour. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
Think like
typically
a beer guy.
People will have either the morning or the evening free.
Okay. Got it. Now, and... have you made friends with a lot of people in Belgium and in Germany in order to make these locations happen, to be able to bring the tours in?
Yes, I have. It's amazing how approachable brewers are. They're glad to see you. They're happy to share their passion and their spirit and their knowledge. In Belgium especially, the brewers are very accessible, and they'll sit down and drink beer with you, and they will never rush you. They'll never look at their wristwatch. They'll drink beer with you all day.
Wow.
You just have to know when to say, hey, we really appreciate your time. We're going to let you get back to what you do, and thank you very much.
Got it. Otherwise, they'll let you keep them all day.
They will. They're so polite. It's all part of the beer culture there.
Right.
They'll never rush you, and they'll always make you feel welcome.
That's great. And the Belgian beer culture, I think, it's a difficult one to find because depending on where you go in Belgium, but if you go to Brussels, for example, there's not a great beer culture there. And if you ask the layman on the street, hey, where do I go to get great Belgian beer? They'll just send you to the shitty bar in the corner that has Jupiler on tap, which is the Anheuser-Busch equivalent of Belgian beer. So to find the good spots of traditional Belgian beer is a little more difficult. Do you find that to be true, Stu?
Well, I don't know if difficult's the right phrase for that.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities to see great beer places there. It's just a matter of being able to arrange them in order so they're close together,
right,
so that you can maximize your time while you're there and not spend too much time trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B to point C.
Yeah. So when I go, I tend to I'll start in France, and so I'll take the train to Brussels. And you're very right. It's difficult to get around in Belgium because, for example, Cantillon is in Brussels, so I'm fine there for like 30 days. I don't have to. I could stay there for 30 days. But the one time I went, I wanted to get to West Vleteren. I sort of assumed I'd be able to just hop on a train. It's Europe. Don't you just take a train out there?
What they say.
And you don't. You can't take a train out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. And so you have to get a car or arrange transportation. And so I think you're right about that. Trying to get to a couple of locations at once can be difficult. You need an expert like you to help that out.
Yeah, it definitely makes things go a lot smoother. It takes out the guesswork. You just get rid of all the stress. You just see what you want to see, you do what you want to do, and then you look back at it and you go, hey, that worked out well.
Sure. Do you put people on a bus for something like that?
It depends on where we're going to. Like, for example, West Vleteren, when we go there, the easiest way to get there is just to have your own wheels. You can feasibly take a train to a town and then get a local bus out there, or you can rent a bicycle from the railway station and ride out. People have done it all kinds of ways, but it's definitely easier if you have your own transportation.
Yeah. I don't recommend the bicycle.
Yeah, go by Mountain Goat if you have
to. because leaving West Vleteren, now this is kind of to your point, Moscow, like how do you not go nuts? I've been waiting years to go to this place, and so when I finally got there to taste that beer, and it's everything that they say it is, by the way. This beer is amazing. So you have as much of it as you can because either you're there for a short time, and leaving is very difficult by bicycle, I would imagine. I remember I didn't drive. We went in a car, and we had a designated driver, Kate the Great, luckily. I remember trying to get there, and you are literally driving like through a field. Like we're following the GPS, and it's taking us through a dirt road, through a field. We were certain we were going the wrong way. And a couple turns later, there you are. You're at the place.
That's the road cut through the corn, huh?
Yeah.
How'd you get Kate to agree to DD at the West Vleteren trip?
I think we got her drunk the night before, so she was hungover.
Like crap. Good work.
Yeah.
Good way to do it.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a little trick of mine. Like, oh, here you go, sweetheart. Like, whenever, if you really want to do something the next day, just load them up the night before.
Stu,
Justin, I'm going to tell you that farm road you went down to get there.
Yeah.
That you didn't go the back way. That is the main way. So
it is? Okay.
When you go there for the first time, you're thinking something's gone wrong, but it hasn't. That's it. It doesn't get any better than that.
Got it. So well, and this is good to know. To this day, until you said that to me, I honestly didn't know that. I just thought it was one of the weird, Google Map ways that we got lucky and found it. But again, I think this is the importance of a beer tour, of somebody who knows, because I will tell you, halfway down that road, Kate's going, come on, what are you, an idiot? Like, this is not the right way. And till I got us there. And she had to take it all back and drive my drunk ass home. What happened?
Hey, Stu, does it ever get tedious for you going to the same spots, multiple times a year? Or is it just as fun every time, like it's a new experience?
It's always just as fun because I love Belgium and I love the people and I love the beer and I love the food, the culture, the scenery, the geography, the history. I just love it. I soak it in.
Have you learned German and... it's not what is it in Belgium? Flemish. Well, in one region it's Flemish. It's French in Brussels. It's Flemish up towards West Vleteren, I think, right, Stu?
That's right. They speak Flemish, which is essentially Dutch.
Okay. So have you learned any
of that?
Oh, yeah. And don't say that to them, probably.
No. And then I studied German in high school and college. And so, Flemish is a Germanic language, so there's a little crossover. So, I can certainly understand it and read menus better than I can speak it.
Right. You've picked up some. Now, I remember from your first interview, too, and I found this very helpful, you also kind of gave us tips about how to visit Europe as a tourist. In other words,
I remember that.
Yeah, like, I don't want to show up like with my baseball hat and San Francisco Giants jersey.
Right.
Because I would look ridiculous, and everyone would know. So do you still do these kind of training sessions for your tours too?
Oh yeah,
you do.
But I always tell people, don't worry about it. Just wear your ball cap and your white tennis shoes and your sunglasses, and just have fun.
Sure. And then you stand back and you sit back and you watch everybody laughing at them.
Well, they don't laugh; they just stand out. But it's really hard to hide being an American.
Right.
It's just something about us; we stand out.
Right.
It's probably the loud smacking sounds from the chewing gum. That's what gives it away.
I don't remember if I had taken the trip the last time you were on, Stu, so you may know the story or not, but I went with an American friend and we were in Brussels at the time, and we left the hotel one morning, and he basically put on running pants, running shoes, a fanny pack, a T-shirt, and a ball cap. And we get to the door. I thought maybe he just was going down to work out real quick before we were leaving. And he's like, all right, you ready to go? And I didn't say anything to him, but I just thought, oh, God, this is terrible. I'm associated with this also. And obviously nobody bothered us, but I'm a little self-conscious about that thing, that sort of stuff. So if I were you, Stu, I'd pick that guy out every tour and just poke fun at him all day, every day.
I'll tell you one thing I did do, though. I had to add a no whiners clause to my tour contract.
You actually put it in the contract?
Yeah. And here, I'll read this to you because I think you'll enjoy this. It says here, no whiners. Whiners are not eligible for this tour. If you believe that you might be a whiner, please check with a domestic partner, guardian, or healthcare professional before registering for this tour.
Of course, it's spelled W-I-N-E. You're only allowed to drink beer.
Right. I love it, Stu. I think have you found anybody bring that up on the tour, or have you had to bring it up? Hey, don't forget about the no whining clause.
No, because that kind of lays the foundation right there.
Right. That's a good point. See, and Moscow kind of said this to me when I said maybe I picked the wrong job, that I'd have to talk to the people all day. It's not the talking with the people. It would be the attitudes of the people that I might have a difficult time with.
Have you just had like an impossible person on a trip before, Stu?
I find that most of the people are pretty like-minded, and they're there to have fun and get to know each other and try as many beers as possible and experiment with the different types of food available. So I've been pretty fortunate that I've had some really good people on the tour so far.
See, the exact same people could go on tours with Justin, and I could ask him that question and be like, oh, God, Frank. This one guy, Frank.
Yeah. Frank, the bane of my existence, this Frank. Everywhere we went. Yeah, I would be. JP would be worse, though, if you think about it.
Imagine.
But I see what you're saying, Stu. Look, if you're going to sign up for a beer tour, international beer tour, you got to be pretty open-minded, pretty relaxed, and ready to go have a good time. So you're probably already set up to just have good people with you, Stu.
Right. People realize they need to be a team player, and they need to be flexible, and things aren't always going to go according to plan, and sometimes you have to be willing to eat a little earlier or a little later or something like that, and it all works out well. The beauty of the beer tour is as long as people have beer, they're happy.
Right. Now, one of the tours I see that you do now that interests me is the Best Damn Farmhouse Ale Tour. Tell me about that.
That's coming up October 8th through 13. It's 6 days, 5 nights. We go in Belgium and northern France, and we visit some well-known farmhouse breweries like DuPont, and then we go to some lesser-known ones in France like Thierez, and it's just a great tour. It's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite ones because we don't spend any time in any big cities like Bruges or Brussels, but we're out in the country, and it's great.
That does sound great. And are you're able to get hotel accommodations for everybody out in the country like that?
Yeah. The one place we spend 3 nights is we stay in a town called Watou, and more specifically, we stay at a place called the Brouwershuis, which means brewer's house, and it's on the property of the St. Bernardus Brewery, and it's the old brewer's house. It's a big mansion, and we stay there, and we base out of there, and we drop into northern France, and we go around Belgium. And what's great about this place is not only is it really cool and right on the St. Bernardus Brewery property, but they have a bottomless refrigerator of St. Bernardus beers in the great room there. And that's all part of the deal. You can drink as much as you want while you're there.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's fantastic.
The only brewer.
3 nights there, huh? Oh, that's going to be rough.
Yeah. The first night you get up at 10, the next morning you get up at 10. The next day you get up at 11.
Next day you don't get up at all.
Yeah.
It is great, and the reason we stay there 3 nights is because it's such a great place. But also, it's nice to just unpack and settle down, and then also know where you're going to be coming back to.
Yeah.
With my tours, we usually spend at least 2 nights in every location because I try to move luggage as little as possible.
Great idea. These vacations are fantastic. You see so much, but 10 days of a new place every day it's difficult. It's exhausting. So,
and if we can just hop back to Bamberg real quick.
Yeah.
What's nice about the Bamberg tours is they're 8 days, 7 nights long, and we stay typically at the same hotel the entire time. So once you unpack, that's your base for the whole week.
Got it. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's for sure what I would want to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm having difficulty picking which tours. For me, these all sound good. And I don't want to gloss over the fact, Tasty, did you hear the part where he said the old brewer's house was a mansion?
Yeah.
Is this the only country in the world that knows how to treat their brewers?
They finally got it right. Give us another 400 years and we'll get it right.
Yeah. We'll have to go to the Vinny Mansion eventually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's fantastic. What about the lonely...
That farmhouse tour is a great one.
It sounds really good. Is this the first time you'll be doing it?
Oh, no.
No, you've done it.
I've done this one a number of times.
Got it. Love it. And what about the Lonely Monks Trappist tour?
That's coming up here October 13 through 22. That's my longest tour. That's 10 days, 9 nights. And we spend some time in Brussels, some time in Bruges. And, of course, we visit all 7 of the Trappist breweries, 6 in Belgium and 1 in the Netherlands. And that tour covers the most ground, and it's a lot of fun. We go to breweries besides Trappist breweries, too, but, of course, the theme is the Trappist beers.
See, that's one for beer geeks, because you want to be able to tick that off your list. Like, all 7 Trappist breweries? Yeah, I've been to them. No big deal. It was fun. And you need a tour to do that because not many beer guys go do that on their own.
Do that on your own. That's a big challenge.
Yeah, you'll go to a region and make sure that you hit the Trappist brewery in that region, right. But beyond that, you don't really make a point of it. So that's a great idea. Do you find that are any of your tours more beer geek centric than others?
Well, I think you get beer geeks on everyone. But
sure.
I'll say that the Great Zitos Beer Festival tour I had this past spring had a lot of beer geeks on it. I mean, people who were hardcore home brewers, really knew their stuff, were into sours, and they just were eating up every little bit of information we could get. as we went along.
And is the Zethos Festival, is that the kind of farm-to-table food and wine and beer and everything? Am I getting that right?
No, it's just beer.
Just beer, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, too.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
In Belgium.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a creep and I wonder these things, has there been a single girl on a tour you've done yet?
I mean, has there been a girl who's single or any women?
A girl who is single, I think,
who was on your tour. Yeah, she just like signed up by herself.
I don't think so. It's been all couples.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me peel myself up off
How
the
about a
ground.
pair of lesbians?
The room is spinning.
Have there been any bisexuals on the tour? You might have to do a singles tour, Stu.
Yeah, now you're talking.
You know, I'll tell you what, it's difficult enough to find, 6 or 10 people who can go on a beer tour, let alone, trying to
make it even more of a niche.
A special niche tour.
Yeah. If you stay on the air long enough with us, Stu, we'll have you doing a swingers tour soon also.
Oh, yeah.
Just hang in there.
And the other thing is, I tell people, if you get a group of at least 6 people, I'll put together a private tour for you. So if you get 6 swingers, we can make it happen.
You
heard it here.
Yeah. You heard
Just
it
wait
here.
for the call, Stu.
Yeah. Use
Wait for the
coupon
calls.
code
Yeah.
BNSwingers at BelgianBeerMe.com.
Whatever you're into, we can make it happen.
Right.
You heard it here.
And I see that you also now have a Christmas beer festival tour. Is that for people who don't like their families? Because I'm in. I'm signing up.
It is. And
Sounds perfect for Moscow.
I just can't put that on the description.
Right. What is that tour, really?
Well, it's all built around this beer festival held in Essen, Belgium, which is up almost on the Dutch border. And every year they bring together all these great Christmas beers in one spot. And there's no place else in the world you can get this collection of Christmas beers than this festival in Essen. So what we do is we go to Bruges for 2 nights, and then we move on to Antwerp. We base out of there. And then Essen is just a short train ride north, so we hit the festival. And then we go to some other breweries on that tour as well. But it's 6 days and 5 nights long. And that tour is, as well as the Trappist and the Farmhouse tour, they're all set to go. They're all confirmed to go because we have enough people that it's going to happen.
Got it. So what happens to people? Just you get a flat rate. They pay you, and you take care of all accommodations and travel and everything. People just show up with their passport?
What's included in my tour is the ground transportation, the hotels, all your breakfasts, 3 lunches, 3 dinners, my guide services. If we go to a festival, your beer's included, and also your beer's included during all formal brewery visits and the tours and visits and group meals. That's what I was looking for. But airfare, you're on your own because a lot of people like to use frequent flyer miles, or they arrive into Europe a few days early or stay a few days later.
Got it. So basically, your airfare, your individual meals if you have special needs, and your weed you have to cover yourself.
You have some meals on your own, but like I say, you get 3 lunches and 3 dinners and all your breakfasts. But that's a good way to do it, too, because as much fun as it is eating with a group, it's nice to kind of get off on your own sometimes and
definitely
find a nice little romantic restaurant and go to that or something.
Yeah, especially when Frank's being a pain in the ass, and you just want to
goddamn Frank
go off and do your own thing. Tasty needs to find a supplier if he goes on ship it to yourself.
Check out the local people.
Yeah, Tasty will be. I'll be right back. I'm going across the border to check out the locals. See what's happening over there. All right, Stu. I think I'm supposed to play this for you, but I don't know if I got it right.
What is it?
I was told I'd get rid of you if I played this song.
Oh, you know what this is? My favorite beer cafe in Bruges is called De Gare. It means the alley. And at closing time, they play this song, Bolero. And it's a tradition. And so when you hear Bolero, you got to get your last call in.
Got it.
The people who are new there, they don't know it. And the music gradually gets louder until
it's uncomfortable.
Until you have to leave.
Well, and by my recording here, I can see that you basically, if you're in the know, you have 6 minutes and 45 seconds to finish your beer and get the F out.
That's right.
That's what it looks like. Did you not know what the hell was happening the first time you heard it, Stu?
I didn't. I just thought, what the hell's going on here? And then the music got loud, and
right.
Then we had to go.
I love it. It's here in the U.S., if you go to kind of a shitty bar, they start flashing the lights and they turn. It's kind of douchey.
Oh, they'll play music and it'll be irritating. Is this the
this is
their
nicer.
equivalent? Is this nicer? Or is there?
I think
maybe it's irritating.
nicer.
I think I like this one.
It's better than I think flashing the lights at
The
you.
lights is the pleasant version. A lot of times they'll just start screaming.
Right.
Last call, order your drink. It's very grating.
Right.
Yeah, I like the music.
I like this
very
too.
Pleasant.
All right.
Did you get the email I sent you with the picture of the house triple that they have there?
Those glasses, yeah, I saw those.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great beer. It's one of my favorite in the world.
So, who makes it for them, or do they?
It's made by Van Steenberge, the same guys that make Golden Drac and Pirat.
I see. And they make their own house triple there. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Every now and then you'll see it in the States. I've seen it in Seattle, and I've seen it in Philadelphia. But it's pretty rare in the States.
Got it. All right, Stu, give us the website, both for Bamberg and the Belgian tours.
Okay, the website is belgianbeermeat.com, and the one for Bamberg is bambergbeermeat.com.
Oh, good. It's retard-friendly.
Everybody to go on the Facebook pages for Belgian Beer Me and Bamberg Beer Me and like those. It's a good way to get tour updates, to follow current tours, and to see what's coming up, and to look at all kinds of pictures and information pertinent to beer travel.
Sounds fantastic and sounds like a great way to spend your vacation time. Even you Americans who only get 2 weeks a year, the standard American vacation, go spend it with Stu and do some beer travel. All right, brother, thanks for being on the program, man. I appreciate it.
And thank you for not saying www before your website names.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it, and congratulations on your new studio.
Hey, thanks, man. It's working out well. I appreciate that. All right, we'll talk to you soon, Stu.
Take care. You guys deserve it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's how you get rid of Stu.
Does that mean we're going to break?
Yeah. I was like, it's going to be a very depressing break. This would make me leave the bar. Once it gets to this part, I might kill myself. Or dance. Or danced with Moscow. Be funny. Do they start yelling at the locals as you get the yelling anyway, or at the non-locals who don't know what it means?
Just over the music.
Did you hear the song?
Hello.
It's over.
Last call.
You gotta go. It's time. All right. I guess we'll take us another break, and then we're going to talk to Ken Weaver about his new book. Did I not get to question Susie for Stu? I think I got to him. I think there was nothing.
Yeah,
there were a couple that you got them all.
I asked him about the single chicks and
Well, let me look
all the
through.
important stuff.
Oh, yeah, swingers group. Yeah, I got that.
I covered it.
How many people in a group? We got that. I think he said 26 max, but usually like 12 to 15. And what's the website? Oh, we're good. We got everything. All right, it's The Session. We'll be right back. Hang in there.
When Michael Fairbrother started moonlighting, he had no idea how quickly his dream was going to grow. Having homebrewed for 15 years, Michael decided to go pro, but not with beer. While attending his homebrew club meetings, he saw ladies knocking their men out of the way to try his mead. Moonlight Meadery is now 2 years old and can produce 200,000 bottles a year. It's the first New Hampshire winery to ever distribute to California and Australia. In fact, you can fine Moonlight Meadery meads in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, Rhode Island, Vermont, and New Hampshire. And they ship direct to 17 states. They produce 56 different varieties of mead and are unlike anything you've ever seen on the market. Michael Fairbrother at Moonlight Meadery is a real success story that can make the BN Army proud. Visit Moonlight Meadery in Londonderry, New Hampshire, or online at moonlightmeadery.com.
7 short minutes off California State Route 101, there lies a secret oasis for all craft beer lovers.
It's Relax Grillin' and Chillin', bro!
Relax Grillin' and Chillin' in Hollister, California is a craft beer lover's dream come true.
Not like a creepy JP dream. Like a normal craft beer lover's dream.
30 taps pouring your favorite craft beer. Visit Relax Grillin' and Chillin' on Facebook to see the most up-to-date beers and what's on the grill.
And let us grill so you can chill.
Angus burgers, filet mignon and ribeye steaks, dogs and sandwiches, and more. Great food, great beer in a place where you can kick back and relax. Tuesdays are brewery nights. Come in to celebrate, and you're not limited to enjoying your favorite brew at the restaurant. Relax Grillin' and Chillin' has beer to go. Relax Grillin' and Chillin'. Let them grill so you can chill.
Have you ever dreamed of taking a beer tour through Belgium or Germany, but weren't sure how to even start? Or were afraid of missing the best places and events? Or maybe you just wish you had a local insider to take you around? Well, there's only one American tour company featured in the Good Beer Guide to Belgium, Belgian Beer Me. Your personal beer tour guide of Belgium and Germany is ready to go at BelgianBeerMe.com and at BambergBeerMe.com. Founder Stu Stewart personally leads 8 tours a year to Belgium and Germany, visiting the finest breweries, beer cafes, abbeys, and festivals. Don't buy beer stuff, buy a beer experience. Birthday presents, stocking stuffers, and the best honeymoon ever. Couples or individuals love Belgian Beer Me beer tours. Your life is now. Sign up for a beer tour today at Belgian Beer Me or BambergBeerMe.com, because all that beer is not going to drink itself.
And now, Northern Brewer presents What If Homebrewers Ruled the World?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll follow me, I will lead you into the gallery area. Now, the first piece up for sale today is a Jamil Zainasheff original, a bottle of 1997 vintage Evil Twin.
I say.
A bidding for this one-of-a-kind piece will start at £7,000. And if you'll continue to follow me, ladies and gentlemen, I can show you a rather abstract piece from Bay Area brewer Justin Crossley. It's a German Doppelbock entitled Justin's Giant Bock. The brewer's notes here indicate that this beer had excellent mouthfeel.
That's just a crazy dream, or is it? With Northern Brewer, a thirsty nation can craft its own ale and lager for the greater good of mankind. Northern Brewer, the home of $7.99 brew saver shipping, superior customer service, and the finest selection of home brewing goods for the future.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today, because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
What's funny is brewers will say, yeah, I don't brew to style. I'm brewing my own beer. And it's like a German Pilsner, but it's black. Yeah, it's a sports beer. You know?
The home of live beer radio. TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The Session.
Beer.
So you have to jiggle the mono chord. Make sure you jiggle the mono chord.
sure to amuse. It's about a favorite thing of mine, it's about a thing you can use. I think it's in danger, it ain't enough around. Keep your eyes in the sky, your feet on the ground. It goes down real easy with chicken soup, a little bit easier with a bowl of Fruit Loops, and it helps you to smile, helps you to think. My favorite thing in the world, man, my favorite thing to drink is beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. Liquid happiness is quite a term, but at least it beats a toxic sugar that ugly little worm. These guys needed something to keep it together, and like a little study aid for almost any kind of weather. Vodka and whiskey once had their day, and Heiser came along and he's got something to say. Said I'm back, I'm here, and I'm really pissed off. Get out with the hard stuff, in with the soft light. Beer, oh yeah, beer, oh yeah, beer, oh yeah, beer. Mr. Heiser's life revolves around that substance of his, that pretty yellow water with that cute little fizz. And the whole damn world, man, is craving for more. And Heiser came through for us, get ready to pour another beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. There's one more aspect I haven't discussed. There's one more thing, and it can only be lust. Like when Mr. Heiser and me is sitting in the sand, and you see that pretty woman, long hair and a tan. You say to that woman, I got something to see. She says right back, one more company, what can it be? She sees that beer I'm holding in my right hand. Mr. Heiser leader is going to promise land with our beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. I'll sing it now. Beer. Oh yeah, beer. I sing it now. Beer. Oh yeah, beer. I'll sing it now. Beer. Oh yeah, 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 beer. I sing it now. Beer. Oh yeah, beer. I am beer. Oh yeah, beer. I'm beer. Oh yeah, yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. Oh yeah, beer. One more time. Beer. Oh yeah, 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 beer. Oh yeah.
You're tuned into the session.
Because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the program, and thanks for sticking with us. Got a lot to do. I'm drinking Tasties. Tasty brought a lot of beer today.
Well, 2 beers, yeah.
That's a lot for me. Hop Stupid clone?
Hop Stupid, yeah. Wow.
I just posted that show in the Can You Brew It this week. You can download it from, it's our Can You Brew It live from the National Homebrewers Conference in Seattle. We did one on this beer and one on Arrogant Bastard yet again.
Live shows. I made both beers.
Yeah. And this beer was received very well.
Yes.
And in fact, I think Jeremy called it cloned.
He did.
Yeah.
I was very pleased that he did. Yeah,
Spoiler
he liked it.
alert.
And He's great to have on the show because he has a lot of knowledge to pass on as well. Not just talking about the beer, but he has a lot to say for himself.
What happened with the arrogant bastard?
Well,
same thing that always happens.
It always happens. We failed. But we're getting close.
We're getting so
Mitch
close.
said we're close, right?
I feel like you've been getting close for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
It'll
We'll
end.
sneak up on it. We'll catch
Sure.
it by surprise one of these days.
I mean, it'll probably be after Tasty's gone.
We won't ask
but-
Mitch to be there one of these times, and we'll declare it closed.
Right.
No, but like all greats, Tasty will be known for the great brewer he is after he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that won't be that long either. So I'm a very patient guy. No problem.
Oh, your kids are going to be loaded, I think,
Loaded?
based off
What?
of you. Yeah, they're going to make a lot of money.
I am making assets here somehow?
Well, you're like an artist, so whatever
I
beers
see.
are left
Oh.
will go for, I think, several
My empty
dollars.
bottles will be worth something or something.
Yeah, like $8.
Yeah, like Elvis's estate made $40 million last year. The man's been dead for decades.
See?
You know?
So
I
my,
think
my coaster collection will be like worth something.
Yeah, exactly.
All the business cards I've collected and stuff.
Your hat collection. You have a nice hat collection.
Big hat collection.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know why I don't throw any away. but
The Hop Stupid is holding up really well.
It is. I'm quite pleased with it, actually.
It still has a great hop character.
This isn't the keg that I sent to Seattle and back. This is the keg that stayed home. So,
Okay.
sounds like a little piggy story there. But,
Yeah. This is a good beer.
yeah, what's weird about this beer, or if I find it unusual, it's 90% raw 2-row and 3% victory malt. That's the whole malt bill.
Okay.
Real simple. I mean, got to give a lot of these guys a lot of credit for being so, like, I don't know, it'd be tempting to, like, try to do more with it than that. No, it was going to all be all about the hops to begin with.
Right. Well, it really works.
So get this. So I made a 12.5-gallon batch, right? The 90-minute edition is like 10.29 ounces of Columbus. That's a shitload of hops.
Yeah. At the 90...
At 90 minutes.
Right. It does have a firm bitterness
Oh, yeah,
to it.
it's definitely bitter. It's
I
like,
mean,
whoa.
it's there.
Way bitter.
But I think that Victory Malt does it justice. It helps it out quite a bit.
Yeah, it gives it more of a beery flavor.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
It's I guess is just the two malts lend it to the light color that it has too, huh?
Yeah, it's like
nothing to darken it up.
0 SRM or something. 5 SRM.
Yeah.
Not much more than base malt.
I drink this on the golf course too, and since I suck at it, it wouldn't affect me at all.
Well, I'm going to blend that.
This with the other.
Yeah, and it'll make both beers much more.
You got to bring that in here so we can talk about it because I'm very curious to try that.
I'll do that.
I think you're right. I think it's the perfect blend.
All the sweetness in this will offset the dryness in the other.
Yeah.
Be more sessionable beer too.
Great idea. All right, so we've got Ken Weaver and also Allie Schmidt in the studio. She did all the photography, and Ken did the writing of the Northern California Craft Beer Guide, which I have in front of me. And it is a beautiful book. You guys did a good job on the design already. It's very nice looking.
Yeah, it almost looks like it was printed by like a major publisher.
We picked it pretty well, didn't it? It looks nice. Yeah.
Right.
You guys did a good job.
Yeah.
Our designer's Gwendolyn Meyer from Vision Road Design, and she did a fantastic job pulling all the pieces together.
Yeah, she did do a good job. Now, Ken, you had contacted me when you were still writing this book. It was quite a while ago now. And you were talking to Chad a little bit, too.
Right.
In fact, I should ask, did Handles make it into the book?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're one of our beer destinations. We like what they're doing. They're
Beautiful.
doing good stuff.
I heard there's a picture of Chad, right?
Big ass picture
Yeah.
of Chad there. Yeah, all of his chins too.
What page is that on? I want to see all
I
his
made sure to
chins.
get the lighting right.
I haven't seen his chins in a while. We don't live together anymore. If I go to the index, does it say Chad?
Index. Go to handles in the back.
Oh, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it, Tasty? You're smart, Tasty.
I got this figured out.
I thought you were just a picture guy.
125.
125.
There we go.
All right, I'm close. Oh, I see his tap handles there. Oh, there he is.
Chad.
Chad, I miss you, buddy. You're looking good, man.
Quite a handsome guy.
He is a handsome guy. Yeah, he hasn't lost any weight. But,
I'm looking at Shannon in the back there. She's hot as hell.
yeah, there's another bartender down there with enormous...
Whatever. lungs.
eyes. You see the eyes on this girl.
Big, beautiful.
Good Lord. Yeah, Chad's doing all right down there. I like to see the handles made it into the book. And right next to it, so it's all by region, of course. You got Hop Tech Homebrew Supply right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, you were an author before getting into the beer scene. Is that right? No.
I have my degree in creative writing.
Okay.
So that's the extent of it, which doesn't really get you much.
So
It doesn't?
Surprisingly not. No, it doesn't even help you get to be a barista. Like nothing.
Right. I would have thought you could make great cappuccinos, and they would know that.
You typically just fall into that. But yeah,
I see. Yeah. So you took your creative writing degree and decided to go straight to writing about beer?
So we had we traveled. We were out of the country for a couple of years, and we relocated to the West Coast. And I started blogging for a little bit. Didn't really dig that format. That really wasn't how I like to work. And I started working actually with All About Beer, doing a couple feature articles with them of all things, which is sort of a big jump, but it worked. And then I met a publisher at a book fair, actually right in Santa Rosa, right down the street from Russian River. And this just sort of came together in discussions with that. And it was actually our publisher's idea. Because I don't really have the balls to sort of say that I'm gonna do this, but it worked in the grand scheme of things. But it was a big undertaking, and it started with that, something very simple.
So, in other words, Allie's been supporting you for several years until this.
I thought that was pretty clear. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's a great way for it to fall. I know what you mean, because you can come up with this idea like, look, I can do this beer book, but it's a whole other thing to go and pitch that to everybody and sell it to them, and so for it to kind of happen organically like that is a blessing.
It came together nice, and it was something that, I mean, this is not a region that you just sort of take lightly, and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to write a beer guide to freaking Northern California. You don't do that. You don't do that. You get your ass handed to you if you do that. And it's such a great beer scene, and it is something that we needed to take seriously.
Sure,
we needed to do the right way, and we got the right people together to do the project.
Well, try it. We hold it sacred as well. I mean, there's our beer scene here. And when I've looked at your book, read quite a bit. You've done a great job. I think you've covered it well. You've shown a lot of deference to the culture that we've got here. I think you've done a great service for it.
Well, and the question I think comes up is what is Northern California also? Because there are Northern Californians, right, that are north of San Francisco who don't say that we are here in Martinez and San Francisco, and that we're not part of Northern California. That it's like Eureka and above is, or I don't know where they draw their arbitrary line. Where do you draw your line for Northern?
My completely arbitrary line is at Santa Cruz, which is sort of it's basically all the way up north to Oregon, and cutting at Santa Cruz and going across. And
I can buy that line. That's a good line.
It's like if you travel to San Francisco, that's where you're going to go. You're probably not going to go all the way down to Monterey for a beer excursion. You'll go down as far as Santa Cruz, and that covers most of that territory. And you start at San Francisco and you work your way out. So.
And I've never really gotten the argument about that it doesn't include Northern California, because essentially you have Southern California, obviously, and then you have Central California. You wouldn't really call the San Francisco Bay Area, or Santa Cruz for that matter, Central California. No. So what are we supposed to call it, like mid-north, lower Northern California? So I've never bought the argument. But I think it's a good question for a book like this, because there has to be a cutoff, right? So,
and we got some questions early on that was like, well, I bet this is just, typical Bay Area. You don't go to here, or here. Like they mentioned 5 or 6 cities. And I was like, yeah, we were actually to every single one of those and covered those things, because it's like, if you're out in Yuba City, you're out in Etna, you're out way the crap out there.
Yeah.
These guys don't get much attention. They don't get many people going out there. It's just way the crap out from the Bay Area.
Right.
And we went there. We went to these places. We checked out their beer. And we were very serious about checking out their beer.
Did you write about the creepy people that you met in Yuba City?
No.
Run into a
there were times there's a lot of self-editing in this book. Yeah, no, it was there was. It wasn't just you. Well, Yuba City we were in a very narrow section of that. So yeah,
a narrow section of Yuba City,
pretty simple,
downtown.
Got it.
And got out of there in a hurry.
Sutter Buttes is out there, right?
Sutter Buttes,
and they're doing good stuff out there. I really like that. Was actually when I think Peter Hoey was brewing out there, and they were set up nice. Everything, he was doing it part time, but they're doing really nice beer out there. And I mean, I didn't see the meth factories. They didn't take me to that part of the tour, but
sure.
But I'm not going to stop talking.
Well,
about
that's book 2 anyway. I mean, the Northern California meth tour.
It's the natural progression for this project.
And by the way, I'd do Central California if you're going to do the meth tour anyway. It would be a little more fascinating, I'm sure of it.
We can package them together. It'll be like.
How did you pick the places? Was there a list, or did you decide to go to every city and see what they had to offer?
So we went. I mean, there are resources out there. I mean, I've worked with Rate Beer in the past. I mean, I know there. Beer Advocate's a pain in the butt to negotiate through and figure that stuff out. But we sort of cross-checked there that we weren't missing too much. But there's so many places sort of go to at least sort of get some of this stuff. So that's where we started for the skeleton of the book in terms of finding the breweries, making sure we weren't missing anything, checking like brewers associations for California, things of this sort. Any list we could find.
Okay.
We went into a big spreadsheet. And then you start whittling the crap down. I mean, you try to get rid of some of the stuff. We have 280 places here, vast majority of which we've gone to. But there were dozens and dozens of places that, appear elsewhere that just don't belong in a book like this. And so trying to get rid of those quick and early on. And then just traveling and asking people, seeing what was going on, seeing what we were missing, trying to keep track of, we included basically any brewery that isn't some place that's basically just brewing for a cheap liquor license, which is, I guess, one of those roundabout things you can do around here.
Yeah, you can.
Those didn't go very well in general, the ones that we found, so we just sort of cut them and didn't feel bad about that at all. But but then we just, so pretty much any brewery that was in existence, at the end of last year is in here.
Okay.
And then, bottle shops, restaurants and stuff, you can just cut out the ones that don't belong because they just don't have that good a beer selection.
I see. So some of the factors were if it was a bottle shop, for example, and it only had a couple of brands of craft beer, clearly they're just doing that to throw up a pale ale on the shelf, and you would cut that. That's criteria that you could cut out.
Yeah, it was stuff that if you're traveling there and you're a beer geek and you want to find this stuff, it needs to hit that. We need to find something that we want to drink, and for sure. And I think most of these really definitely satisfy that. The sort of criteria varied from region to region a little bit, but
it did.
Still,
okay,
it has to way out there.
And it does, and that's kind of what I mean. Is sometimes it does have to. Now I can understand the criteria. You could cut out a place if they're just brewing to fulfill a license requirement.
It was
easy,
bad.
no brainer.
Pretty bad.
What if though? It's maybe a newer brew pub. I don't know. They're actually going for it. They're brewing because they want to brew, but and I don't mean just slightly missing the mark. Did you come across any place that's really missing the quality mark? And what do you do then?
Yeah. Well, so that was. I mean, I think that's the thing that has caused the most anxious conversations between Allie and I, and really just caused me the most angst about this whole thing because the one thing we didn't want to. They're in there. The short answer is they're in there.
Okay.
And the slightly longer answer is they're in there and either spoken of in a way that is pretty obvious that we weren't particularly pleased about the beer, but still trying to find the good stuff. But there are certainly places that just aren't. There lots of flaws, lots of stuff that just doesn't work. But the one thing we didn't want to do was, we're hanging out, we're talking, we're drinking with these people. We're meeting locals, and we're meeting locals at places that we just don't like the beer at all. They're like, yeah, I come here like every day. I'm drinking the IPA, and the IPA tastes like candy sugar to me, and I'm it doesn't work. But I didn't want anybody to pick up this book, and there may be a couple exceptions where there'll be at least some feathers ruffled. But I mean, I didn't want to be that guy who's like, dude, this Ken Weaver. I read his book. Like, your beer sucks. I'm not drinking here anymore. And this is some guy who's been drinking there forever. And I don't think that is the role for this book, and I didn't want that to be the role. And I don't want to be that guy. And I don't think that I think you can convey that information without being that guy. And that was sort of that balance that we tried to strike.
See, I like that, especially because
you can always just ask me. I'll tell you.
Tasty will tell you. Yeah, just put Tasty's phone number.
I don't have Tasty. He'll tell you the straight story. Yeah.
But for example, I don't mean this in any way other than the truth. People don't know you.
No.
Right? They don't know who you are. And so, for that matter, I'm not necessarily buying this book because I want to know what Ken Weaver has decided about a location. I'm buying this book because I want to know where every single location is so that I can then, decide from it. Now, I do like the fact that you might, for example, if you went into Russian River, you'd probably write, now listen, the beer is amazing. You should try this, try that. If you go into another place, you might say, boy, did we have fun with the locals, and the atmosphere is fantastic, and I could read between the lines. Yep. But I want them all listed there. So I think that's a good choice of yours, because I feel like I want to travel, I want to pull off a 101, and I want to look in the book and go, okay, well, I'm in Yuba City, and let me see what's here. So I think you shouldn't have left them out. I think that's the right choice.
Well, I think that we were conscious of the fact that, I'd had one article, Allie had some pictures published. We knew where we were coming into the beer scene. We've been doing this for a long time. We've done lots and lots of beer traveling. We've done...
And you still like each other.
Amazingly enough. It's gotten even better. Yeah, no, it is fun, but we knew that we needed to sort of prove ourselves in the process of doing this book, and I think that comes through in the final product.
Yeah.
So I'm not too... People will... find their own value in it as they go through it.
Well, on page 120, you included the Brewing Network. So clearly,
something is going right.
The criteria
got his finger on the pulse.
It's correct. I mean, and now, honestly, though, we're an interesting company to choose to put in here. We don't really fit the bill of a beer location. Yes, we're located in Northern California. We promote craft beer and homebrew. So what is the idea that you have that you think something like the Brewing Network fits in a book like this?
He just wanted to be on the show.
Right. It's like,
Scott's just way too on this right now. It's just really disappointing. Right. Yeah, well, I mean, so you have the places. You start with we had looked at all these different guides that had come before and saw what was there, and asked ourselves the question hedonistically, what should this look like? I mean, and part of that is, okay, we're going to have the place listings. We have to have the place listings. That just makes sense. Then we wanted to talk, we want to single out some beers. So we had, typically you have these 2 or 3 pages of boring-ass style descriptions in the beginning that no one reads and no one learns anything from. And so instead of doing that, we put them as sidebars. We have all these great examples in Northern California of double IPAs, of IPAs, of Belgian sour beers, and all kinds of different stuff that we can pull from that's even in stuff that's bottled, and pull that out into the sidebars. And then, but that still doesn't quite cover everything. That gets your places, that gets your beer, but you don't. There's other stuff. I mean, we wanted to talk about Todd Ashman out at 50/50 doing barrel aging. He's been doing barrel aging for like 17, 18 years or something at this point. We wanted to talk about Moonlight doing lagers. I want to talk about what Brian's up to. We want to talk about Jack Van Stone doing bottle cap stuff. I mean, these are people that are part of the culture and that fit into something that is not a place or a beer or anything else. And that made the most sense. I mean, having that as a regular sort of commonality for the book and bringing out those pieces, I mean, that made sense to us, and that I love it. That felt like the beer culture that we're a part of, and that seemed to be the best way to do it.
I think it's a good idea, and I think it goes again with the purpose of the book. If I'm traveling up 101 and we know that the next city's coming up, but what am I going to read in the car on the way there? I need a sidebar. Give me some information, right? And that way, Kate the Great, because she's driving, clearly, can listen to me, give a little background. So I know it sounds self-serving, but if I didn't own the Brewing Network, I would find it awesome in a location-centric book like this that I could read a little bit about the beer culture and something like that in there. I think that's a very cool thing to do.
You can't do craft beer without those stories. I mean, that's sort of so much the underpinning of what we're involved in and what's important to us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, you're describing the scene, and there's a lot in the scene.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly things I've missed, too, and I'm already looking forward to some of the stuff for second edition whenever we get around to that. Not this year. Dear God.
Did you have? Are you just fidgeting, Moscow?
Just fidgeting? Yeah. Well, you probably left stuff out on purpose, right? Just so you can now write a second book.
Obviously, yeah. No, that was planned from the beginning.
Like video games, they purposely leave out features so they can come out with the next one a year later. Oh, now you can fly. Like
we just left 20 pages out. Yeah, actually, we're selling that separately. So yeah.
I haven't pegged Ken for that smart yet.
No,
Allie maybe.
It builds. She was behind it.
She's like, listen, you can't put everything in this book because I've been paying the rent for 7 years. And this book is only going to carry us through like a year. And so maybe
you're optimistic.
Right. Now, I think it's on the same note, it's really worth mentioning that you've included homebrew shops in here, too. We talked about Hop Tech being there. I see beer, and more beer here. And again, I think it just goes with the philosophy that you're saying to fit in the beer culture, not just the beer spaces.
Yeah, I mean, they're not given a huge amount of attention. And I actually want to do, like, I'm thinking for second edition, I've just been talking with Tasty about homebrewing and things of this sort, things that we would want to bring in as more like, and more of that culture. But yeah, I mean, as many as we could track down, they're in there with a little bit of description and to give people the background.
It's great.
I would imagine you would have left out plenty of homebrew shops because there's some that are just so tiny so as to not be worthy of mention. Is that true? Are there more than people would think? Less?
Most of them that were there, we included them just because a lot of them do mail order and things of that sort. It's sort of helpful. There aren't that many. I mean, you guys probably have a better sense of things.
No, there aren't that many, really. No.
So, yeah. So, particularly, like, they were spread out enough that it was like, if you know, if you can, I take that. That's good.
I think I'm just spoiled, and so I assume every third storefront and online business is homebrewing supply.
It's not just a network of more beers. Okay. It's really not.
Right, not at all. Now, the other thing that this is going to sound like it usually sounds for me that I'm stupid and lazy, but I like that it's short and sweet. There are some places where you've gone into depth. For example, when you start to cover Bison Brewing, you will you'll give a segment about organic brewing because it's important to the brewery. But it's short and to the point. You're giving some background about why Bison Brewing Company is important. And in the Bay Area, we know that they're important because of their philosophy about brewing and organic brewing. So you give a little background. But then the actual part about the brewery is short and sweet. It gives me enough to know and just decide on whether or not I want to stop there, or I could just now know about it. It's in my psyche, and I can move on.
We were done in tandem. We didn't want to. You don't want to. There were, there's so many books where you're like, oh, I'm reading the same thing I just read like 3 pages ago. And I was pretty conscious of that.
Well, and we didn't want the book to be like 500 pages.
Right. It's only $499.
Allie's on the mic. No.
Yeah.
Now we're going.
And I think that's a smart move, because if I see it on the shelf that way, I'd be like, I can't be bothered with that. 500 pages.
It's not a guidebook then.
Yeah.
You guys don't have the OCD tucked in the back of your
right.
car? Yeah.
So some good decisions were made, because I think that's important. Now, Allie, you took the photographs
yep,
along
that's
the
right.
way. Now, are you a photographer, or you were like, Jesus, with these beer places, I need to do something. I'm bored.
I do freelance photography, and I did some work with All About Beer before this book. So some beer photography is something that I enjoy doing, and it's also something that keeps me occupied while Ken's trying all the beers and figuring out where we're going next.
Sure.
Before you got into the beer photography, were you doing like abstract, or were you doing what was your style before you did that?
Nudes.
I do a lot of nature photography and macro work typically, but I'm sort of branching out and exploring different types.
Well, this is nature now. It's a bunch of fat beer drinkers. It's very natural, Well, listen, the pictures, the photographs are an essential part of this book. And to telling the story, too, I really like them. I think that they're well done, and I think that they're well placed. So it really is an essential part to this book.
Thank you.
I have a lot of, European travel guidebooks, right? Those are kind of the original guidebooks that became popular. If you were going to go to Europe, you'd have to buy and it's the same format. It's thin enough to throw in your backpack, but it kind of shows you the essentials. But many of them, I really think, were lacking a photographic component, and I think it helps decide where you want to go.
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling with Moon Guides and Lonely Planet, and they have pictures occasionally, but they're usually in black and white with maybe a few colors in the front.
Right.
And it's definitely not representative of what you're going to see when you get out there.
Sure. Like, let's take The Trappist, for example. It's a page that I'm on right now. Now, The Trappist in Oakland is an awesome Belgian beer bar. And beer people know that. It should be listed here, obviously. But it's a beautiful beer bar. I mean, inside of that place is awesome. It's just very enjoyable to sit there. The way they decorate, the whole thing is awesome. And having a picture of it right here, you can see their tap handles, the money that they spent, the time that they spent having proper Belgian taps and all that. It's all, even the amount of glassware and the different types of glassware, it's all in one photo. So as a beer guy, if you didn't know about the Trappist, you'd read about it, and then you'd look and go, oh, it also looks like they did it right. And so it makes you want to show up. So I think it's an important part to have here.
You think that might get destroyed in the riot after the Obama rally tonight?
The Trappist might go down.
Let's hope it
because that's where JP will want to go.
Sure.
And
this way, everybody.
Yeah, and then there's this other photograph of a bunch of weird shit on a wall. It's like a leg hanging off of it. What am I looking at? Is this the Cork and Bottle Liquors on page 114? Oh, it's the Warehouse Cafe. Oh, is this in Crockett?
That's not in Port Costa.
You did the Port Costa Warehouse Cafe? You put them in the book?
Oh, yeah. All right.
No, it's a good one to put in the book. They have a great beer selection. But what a creepy bar.
Yeah.
And this photograph conveys that. This is my point.
Yeah, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, there's no punches.
The bear in there.
It's a good heads up there, Allie.
Describe why it's creepy.
Check this out.
Well, there's a lot of, at least I hope they're mannequin legs and different body parts kind of hanging off of the wall. And one of those really ugly yet miniature Christmas trees that you buy at the Walmart around Christmas that your grandmother buys on one of the tables. Clearly you were there in June. Because that's how this place rolls.
I think that's
quite festive. Quite festive around.
And
so, what's creepy?
A lot of motorcycles there.
It is a cool place to go, though.
This one actually had a big stuffed polar bear in the other room next to the bar, too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's in the... That one didn't make the cut.
Oh,
so
it's too bad.
of it.
It's too bad. Yeah, I like it. Oh, here's Creek Monkey, now our local tasty.
So local, yeah. We
right
out the door here.
Yeah, you zip line right off the balcony.
I pregame over there.
You did you?
Oh, yeah.
I was told now, I talked to the owner of Creek Monkey, and he said we are to text the bartender when we're coming over on show nights, and he has been instructed to stay open for us. How about that?
We called him last night.
Yeah, made it happen last time.
Wow.
Yeah.
First JP farts up the mayor, and then Creek Monkey's staying open. We're really climbing up in the world.
I told you, I'm going to own this city eventually.
Wow.
I need to... I should run for the mayor of Martinez, don't you think?
You'd win. For sure.
Because who the hell else wants that job?
All the homeless guys would vote for you because they think you're one of them.
They do, exactly. And what do you really have to
Looks
do?
like it and smells like him.
As the mayor of Martinez? Leanne here, the director of downtown Martinez, you'll meet her. She's been on the show before. I think she runs this city. The mayor, you don't have to do anything. To me.
She's got all the money.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything. Anyway.
So, Ken, I noticed in each of the bars have a set of symbols by them. And in the front there's like an index that say, like how many, whether they have food or not, or whether they fill growlers and things like that.
Whether the bartender has
there's
two
just
chins.
a few that I thought were missing, like in terms of like when I want to evaluate a bar, I'm interested to know how many urinals they have. How many bar stools they have?
We have that data. We just didn't.
You have that information.
It's there.
Second edition.
Second edition. We'll just toss it in.
Yeah. And the number of female bartenders, our percentage of female bartenders.
Sure.
I always want to know that.
That was a tough cut in the first edition.
That is tough, and I'm totally with Tasty on that. Seriously, I'm with him on the statistic, but it's a moving target. It's such a problem for an author.
It's a benchmark.
Yeah.
That's why you need updates.
What do they shoot for? You could interview the owner and say, so what
are you trying to do?
Yeah, what are you going for?
What would you like to get?
Yeah. Right.
That'd be one of those things that people would be most disappointed if it wasn't true the night they go. So that would be you're just setting yourself up at that point.
So what are your symbols? I see a fork and a knife, so it has
what
food.
What are those symbols? Yeah.
Is that a tasty cookie next to a fork and a knife that I see?
Yeah.
It looks like a tasty cookie.
I think it's tasty approved.
That's going to be in my book.
Those cookies do make you want to eat.
Yeah.
We really should have had a cookie. We should have had a cookie symbol for the snacks. We should have done that.
It looks like a hamburger or something. What is it?
It might have been
cask?
the cask thing.
It's
the barrel thing.
It's that one.
Yeah, it's the barrel thing. They occasionally have cask stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, my eyes are going bad. That's totally a cask. You're right.
It's a weird hamburger
or a tasty cookie.
Yeah.
And then what's the half empty pint? Can you get a half pint there?
Those are samplers.
Samplers.
Yeah, so they'll do tasters for you, so you can go in and actually taste the whole flight of stuff.
That's a good thing
most
to know.
of the breweries do that.
And then growlers, and then there's a film strip at the end. You can make a movie there.
There might be a film. Where the hell is it?
Or is that another barrel? See, that looks more like a barrel
That's
to me.
they sell kegs.
Yeah. Oh, they sell kegs
directly. You don't have to get them from the actual store.
A film strip.
Well, look at it.
I mean, that was closer than the hamburger.
Yeah, barrel. But see, I knew it couldn't be a barrel because the hamburger is a barrel. So I was if it's not a barrel, it's a film strip.
You want my glasses right now?
I really, my
blind mayor of Martinez. This would be magnificent.
Yeah, Doc and I were talking about this yesterday. That my eyes are really going, and he's like, "Yeah, listen, it happens fast. Once they start, it's really downhill. And in the last month, it's really gone downhill."
Can you imagine how much more audio obsessed you'll be once you're blind? How much more you'll key in on subtleties?
Oh, absolutely.
You think you're pressing hard when that train goes by now?
Right. Yeah, you're right. My senses. Although I think I'm going deaf also, but that's going to, the show is just going to get better. Ken, I really like this book. I think you did a great job. I think it's really comprehensive. How are sales going? Are you going to be able to pay the rent?
I have no idea. Well, yeah. That's what I'm married for. No. I mean, yeah. Your year of income is that's not going to happen. We'll see how it goes.
Sure,
it's going
but
well.
Isn't that kind of how the book world works? Like it takes a while because there are expenses first that have to be recouped sometimes, but it has to be out there and talked about, and people have to get to know it. There has to be some buzz. I know that you're kind of touring a little bit and doing some book signings. To help it get out there.
We've had a lot of support, and we've been getting a lot of places. I mean, we've made it available to breweries and homebrew shops and everybody. I know a lot of the homebrew shops, it sounds like, have been stocking it, and it's been selling well. And we've been doing really well with it at festivals and events. It's just there's nowhere for me to go for those numbers. I have no idea.
Got it.
Especially when you're sort of focused in Northern California.
Yeah.
BookScan doesn't even keep track of like a lot of those little independent bookstores and stuff. So
You need a Moscow on your team. It's all he cares about. He's like the
Can you hustle? Are
Oh,
you ready for
he
this?
wants the numbers and he'll get it for you, man. I'll rent him to you for $35 a minute.
He only pays me $26.
How much can you do in like 2 minutes?
A lot. He's
That's
good.
good.
I'm telling
Okay.
you. Yeah. Now, you were a particle physicist before writing?
This is going to go south. You just lost all of your listeners, I think. I did. Yeah, we both actually we met in a PhD program in physics.
Allie, what do you do now?
I'm a renewable energy consultant.
Really?
Yeah.
You are smart people, you two. And so you both met in physics.
Yep.
In school or in the workplace?
In grad school.
In grad school.
Wait,
I see.
You guys both have postgraduate degrees, and you're working in renewable energies, and you're not at the Obama rally because why?
Right, because we have the
JP took our seat, I think, is what it came down to.
Boy, I bet your dinner conversations are fascinating, you two.
There's something.
Right. Now, why did you not continue down the particle physicism?
You already know the answer to that question, don't you?
You found beer.
Yeah. Well, there's that. I had quit to do writing. I got bored with it pretty quick. Allie wasn't loving what she was doing. It's pretty dorky. It just wasn't satisfying all parts of what we wanted to do. And the thought of spending the next 40, 50 years in a lab was sufficient to get the hell out of there pretty quick. So,
you know what I find interesting about that, and I mean this, is that most people with your background, with a science background, who get into beer, really get into the brewing side of it.
Yeah.
But you really are using both sides of your brain with the creative writing and the scientific part. I use like a corner of my brain to do what I do. That's it. But you're really, it's kind of a jump is what I'm saying. Most people would have gone into brewing.
It's not been well, I'm pretty shitty at making things or recipes or hands-on. Yeah, it's not an engineer. But,
Sounds like you were a shitty scientist.
It's hard to say.
Right.
Good to a point, but yeah, no, it's worked out well. But it has definitely been a big transition. I mean, just in terms of doing something like this. I mean, this is not.
Yeah.
You don't learn this sort of shit or anything about doing
Right.
a book, about hustling a book, about trying to figure out how to do this sort of thing. You're totally ill prepared for that.
Yeah.
So it's been a long few years transitioning.
And of course, by big transition, you mean you've gone from being miserable and bored to happy and sort of buzzed.
Yes, that's a fair summary. I think that's good.
Right. Yeah. I like it. And Allie, you've been supportive of this transition all the way.
Absolutely. Do what you want to do. What
Right.
you love.
And are you passionate about renewable energy?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
So give me an example of a renewable energy that you are focused on right now.
Well, I do a lot of different types, but I really like solar PV. It's just such a clean energy source.
Yeah.
And, I actually can't wait to have one of my own little solar panel.
On your house?
We just bought a house, dude.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we just closed on Friday.
Where at? In Martinez. Great. That's the place is really up and coming.
At least we already
Santa
Rosa. We just know who the future mayor is going to be, so we figured we'd get in while the housing prices are low.
Right.
Next door to Vinny, right?
You bought a house in Santa Rosa.
We're going to be in Petaluma. So
I like Petaluma.
Be 20 minutes
Lagunitas.
closer. Yeah, 20 minutes closer to the sea. There's some new stuff opening there. It's just it's a good place for us.
Before I went through it and really dug in there, because I'm a very judgmental person, I was like, I thought Petaluma was a shithole. Like, what a terrible place to live. Who would live there? But then I actually went to Petaluma, which is a good thing to do before you start judging it. Petaluma is awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
It has a cool, like, old downtown. Of course, it has Lagunitas, which is not in the old downtown, but it just to have that as a local, it's a really cool place.
It's nice. It's got that balance of like the fancy frou-frou wine country stuff,
right?
If you want, if you want that nice echelon of things,
sure.
It's also got as our friends describe, it's got that nice balance between that sort of wine bar and the bars with the like animal heads on the wall,
right?
And that's
because it's a farm. Petaluma is still a farm town too. It's a bit of both.
Poultry, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Now, will you get a discount on solar panels because you're working on them, or what's the deal there?
I hope so.
Yeah, you're like, Jesus, I built these things.
Help, yeah.
Help me out here.
I don't want to bust your Petaluma bubble, but the story begs to be told. I have friends that just bought a house there as well, like a month ago. They said they were woken up about 4 mornings after they'd moved to about like 4 a.m. They're woken up by automatic gunfire, helicopters, crazy noises like it's on top of their house.
Oh.
And they learned later that it was a DEA investigation, like a culmination of a year-long investigation, full-blown raid on a complex that was just in a residential area of Petaluma. And it was
just pot, though.
It was a shootout.
Yeah, but it's just weed.
We're 2 miles south.
Over weed?
It's fine.
Yeah. That's up north on, like, what is it, McDowell or whatever? That's not near us. That's fine.
Yeah. And actually, I read about that. That whole thing was actually a cover-up. Somebody's sheep got out that day, and there was a big... everyone was very upset.
I see.
And it was a very old sheep.
I knew there was no reason to worry, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good place.
I'm sure it was an aberration.
Now, is solar going to make it in this world? Because we hear as consumers the two sides of it are the people selling us solar. Oh my God, it's so wonderful! Now pay me $15,000. The opponents of it say, well, we're never going to dial it in so that it's a practical energy source. What do you think?
Well, I think since I've been working with solar for the last 4 years or so, I've seen it approximately halve in cost for installing a solar system on your roof. So,
that doesn't answer the question. Is it going to come down enough?
Oh yeah, I mean they're working on things all the time. I think that it's continually going down, and our energy prices from fossil fuels are continually going up.
Right.
So eventually it's going to meet.
I love it. I thought I read. So I'm from the desert, right? And in the Mojave Desert, they have some of these enormous solar panel farms. And I thought I read recently that one of these enormous solar panel farms out there has just lost all its funding, and now it's just going to sit there, sun burning away, and not. Do you know anything about this?
There are some very big plants that have been in development for a while, and they've either lost funding or have decided to change technology and dropped some of their funding. Like there's different types of solar electricity generating technologies, and a lot of people are sort of converting over to traditional sort of PV instead of concentrated solar PV technologies.
Got it.
That sort of after millions and millions and millions of dollars it's going to cost to install these facilities. If you change technology at this point, it's kind of down the tube for a lot of that funding you've secured.
Yikes. Yeah. What are they going to do with that big farm out there? It's going to sit there. My alma mater, the Diablo Valley College, they put parking structures over their parking lots with all solar panels to help. I don't know where that's my tuition at work there, I suppose. My $13 a unit back then went to doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of schools do that. It's pretty neat.
Smart use of a parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, Ken Grossman does his whole brewery.
There we go. That's the transition I was looking for.
Yeah. Is that in? Do you talk about that in here?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, he's got the environmental sidebar, the environmental sustainability sidebar in whatever it is, chapter 6, and I mean he's just dude's just killing it in terms of commitment to PV stuff. Where they got hybrid, and you were dead on when we were going there.
Hydrogen
I mean, they have like
fuel cells.
Yeah, they got fuel cells. They've got hybrid local delivery trucks they're doing.
Yeah, I think biodiesel vehicles.
Yeah, they got electric charging stations there. I mean, their whole huge on-site offset with renewables. And I think what do they do? Offset. They pay for the rest of the renewable offsets for everything else they do. Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, they're 100% green or something.
Yeah.
They got like a 30-page sustainability report or whatever. Just mind-boggling. I
Wow.
mean, and it's just they don't put that shit on the packaging. Their marketing and their marketing and sustainability departments don't talk, so we'll talk for them, and they're doing fantastic stuff. I mean, it was sort of mind-boggling.
That is.
Really
Well, it's good to see. I picture the two of you living off the grid one day, both of you having beards.
Her mom is.
I don't know why.
She's working on hers. But yeah.
Sorry, Allie, but
well, no. Her mom's already setting up an off-grid house,
and already started growing a beard.
She's doing very well. No, she's. Yeah,
do you guys?
She'll never listen to this, so she's doing very well with her beard. Yeah, it's good.
I also picture that you guys are into disaster preparedness. Do you have like a bomb shelter or anything like that?
A trunk full of like mag lights?
Maybe an
I
escape.
don't think we have any Band-Aids in the house.
No?
I think we're kind of screwed. Yeah,
You're not into the disaster preparedness thing?
No,
I got that wrong.
We're disaster prone more than anything else. So.
Right. Well, good luck with the new house.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're excited. More
That'll be fun. Now, I really like that you've included in the book too lots of bottle shop locations, and I think that's important too. Like you're gonna pull off the 101 eventually and stop for the night. And what are you gonna drink in that hotel room all night? You got to stop at the local bottle shop. Now, in your bottle shop descriptions, do you do you really talk about the types of things that you might find? Like a city beer store in San Francisco, it's in everything. Rare beer,
fancy cooler with shit you can't take away. Yeah, magnificent. We tried to give a sense of sort of what the overall, because you can't talk. I mean, just like when you go to a beer bar, you can't talk about what's on tap.
Right.
It's going to change. You can't go to a bottle shop and talk about like what's on the shelves. It's already out of date.
Sure.
But a general sense of sort of what their focus is, if they're focused on, if they have a big Belgian selection, if they do a lot of stuff like their local, if we found places that would have like all the weird local East-based stuff that you couldn't find in bottles elsewhere, like if it was that sort of thing, we'd mention that. And that sort of higher level of description was the best way to do that. So you'd get a general sense of things.
I like it. What are you working on next? Another beer book?
We've been talking about that. We've been talking about that with our publisher. There's some of that in the work. I want to do a national project. I'm sort of waiting for some of that stuff to congeal and work on something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I've been basically doing freelance beer stuff full time, so doing a lot of different freelance work and trying to build that base. Doing a lot more work with All About Beer, working for my local, and getting some of the national glossies. So trying to get some work, get more work there. So.
Right. If you pay us, you can write for us. That's our model.
This sounds a lot like blogging, but worse.
Yeah, but a little worse. Yeah. When Moscow signed up, I was like, yeah, that'd be great. You can pay me $50 a week and work here.
And then but I'm a negotiator, so I was like 25. And then Justin was like 40. And I was like, okay, 40.
Yeah, it went really well. Bottle cap art is included. Is that unique to Northern California, do you think?
It's pretty unique to pretty much anywhere.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Jack is, that's Jack Van Stone from Lost Coast. And, Jack's, we have seen him at so many festivals. I mean, he's such a huge presence. There's people that, like, love this stuff and that are, sort of constantly, like, looking for his stuff. He just started his own little website, selling the stuff. I mean, it's such a huge sort of part of what we see at these festivals. I mean, you go to Boonville, you see Jack in, like, Chainmail. You go to these other festivals, you see him in, what else does he have? I haven't seen the Drake's.
Surfer Dude.
I haven't seen the Drake's dreads yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Breastfest, he has a special outfit.
There were dreads. I've not seen those in action yet. He does. Yeah.
So special, we can't talk about it on the radio. I like this book. It's really well designed. And like I said, it's just short and sweet. There are certain pages where there are 3 or 4 listings on one page. You can just get right to the point and find out if you. It's really like. Because so many, I'm saying this, I think, over and over, because so many of these beer books don't hit the mark on the travel book part. The ones I'm used to when I'm traveling, which really have a lot of information on a couple of pages so I can get to the point and go check it out myself. I like the icons so that I know kind of what's there, like little cheeseburgers and stuff. I think that's great.
Film strips.
And I know if I can go watch a movie. But I just think you hit the mark of if not just a beer book, of a travel book. I love it. I think it's a good job. I know Tasty likes it.
I like it a lot.
Where's the best page?
Tasty's just been staring at the page that he's on the whole time, though.
Oh, I am on here somewhere. What page?
Are you in here too, Tasty?
I got a mention on 255. Would you read that out loud for me?
Yeah, absolutely. You want me to use my best?
The right sidebar. It starts out, many of the more recent American versions.
Can I rub your back while he's reading it?
Towards the bottom.
That'd be perfect.
255. I'm almost there. In the sidebar.
Towards the bottom. Many of the more recent American. He's talking about brown ales.
Yeah. All right. Here you go, Tasty. Many of the more recent American versions, though, have been favoring higher hopping rates. Janet's Brown Ale from Russian River, created by Mike Tasty McDole, is a prime local example of a hoppy brown, while Uncommon Brewers Bacon Brown Ale takes the style in an entirely different, slightly smoky direction. Wow. You know what makes me proud about that, Tasty, is that your given nickname has made it into print also.
That's right.
Now it's official.
It's official, yeah.
It's really official.
You can't take that away from me now.
No, it's there.
Yes. Ken, you covered every beer bar that I can think of. What was your checklist? Did you use like the ABC alcohol license database?
No, that would have been awesome, though. But yeah,
how did you not miss anybody? How did you?
So my job before this was I did sort of the same work that Allie did, but shittier, worse paid, and with less discerning managerial control.
That's weird, considering men run everything.
It was not. But basically, my job involved trying to track down these weird, disparate things that I wasn't really supposed to be able to find on the internet and find them. So we just put together a lot of different lists of things and went to every source that we could find and then just brought them all together, put together a big spreadsheet, which is again something we're very good at, and just go from there.
Like create your checklist, and then you put them geographically and set out and did your traveling.
I work very well with a checklist in a spreadsheet. So yeah, we had a lot of Google Maps. We made it work. We had some really sort of frantic travel days with. We do a lot of places one day, but yeah, got it all.
It seemed like there might be a book in your beer travels at some point.
It's not going to sell.
Who wants to hear that?
It's one of those things that it's been done. People have done it well. It's one of those things that I think Justin's actually pretty right about. My ability to market and be savvy and things of this sort has been improved and a better sense, not just her guidance, but
right.
But just that's just knowing that what's sells
sell.
and what's not. I mean,
Sure.
like I've said this to other people, but my first novel is not going to be this fun at all. I'll tell you that right now. So.
Did you catch any grief for the fact that it has Northern California right in the title, and maybe someone was like, "Well, it's why eliminate the market that doesn't live in Northern California? Who from Kansas City, Missouri, is going to buy this book?"
People who are traveling here, and our friends that we guilt tripped into buying it. I think as well.
For sure, and I know people will, but I'm saying, did anybody give you any grief about that being the title?
As in terms of reducing the market by being honest,
right? Exactly.
No.
So far, no.
So far, no. I'm sure it'll happen.
Well, we get a lot of visitors in Northern California for our beer, and this is just a great reference. If you're planning to come here and want to have a guidebook, this is a great thing to use as a checklist for sure.
Now, Tasty, if you turn to page 263 to look on the picture there, you'll actually see how thorough they were. They found the one black guy in craft beer that's not Terrence the Black.
Oh, it's Garrett Oliver?
And, in Northern California, craft beer, sorry, that's not Terrence the Black. And, in fact, there might even be a second black person in the background.
What? There's two tokens in one picture? Come on.
There's also a blonde girl with a big ass on the left, which is
they gravitate towards the blacks.
So, Allie, I'm just saying once again, your contribution to this book should not be undersold. You really have an eye for information.
Apparently.
Yeah. This guy will be happy to represent the black community in craft beer. And Terrence doesn't feel so alone now, I'm sure of it, once he sees this photograph. Not enough Hop Grenade T-shirts, though. I'm not seeing a lot of those. I haven't looked at every page yet, but
second edition.
Well,
right.
You have specific instruction now, Allie, for the next book. It says if the picture does not contain a hop grenade, it's a cutting room floor.
Yeah, come by and we'll give you some shirts to hand out, and then take the picture.
Here, put these
now.
on. I'll get this picture
Listen,
right now.
If you can get a black guy in a hop grenade at a beer festival, you really will have outdone yourself. That's something else.
Cover shot.
Yeah, I'll look for that.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye. Yeah, I'm really paying attention to that everywhere I go. Thanks, Justin.
You notice in this picture, it's Steve and Justine in the foreground.
I thought that was Steve.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
That's Steve. Now look at the girl with him. Doesn't it look like Justine would be looking with that?
Yeah.
With that umbrella like that?
I was saying to Allie, I think before the show, that for beer geeks, I would like an all-photo section in the back of a book like this, especially if it's your region. Like if it's your home region, wherever you do the next one even. No text, just photos, but it's a quiz. And if you can name the places that the photos were at, it's just kind of, and you could maybe, give some stats, like if you got 5 out of 20 right, you're a beer douche. But if you got half of them right, you're and if you get them all right, you're a beer guy, real beer geek, things like that. But it'll be fun, especially like I'm saying. I know it sounds like a joke, but I'm half serious. When it's your region, when it's Northern California, you kind of want to know how many of the pictures you recognize. You go, oh yeah, I've been to that place. I'm equally fascinated by the places I've never heard of in the book, honestly. But I do like the pictures that I go, oh yeah, there's 2-1A. I reckon I sat there and got drunk once.
It would be nice to have more
We
games.
could do a quiz on the website or on our Facebook page.
Second edition.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to do this up.
For free,
yeah, this is going to be.
Now, see, here's a good one. For example, on page 159, but I read the text, but this would be a perfect one. I thought I recognized Half Moon Bay Brewery here. I'm looking at the picture and I'm going, oh man, I've been there. What's that place? But you got listed Half Moon Bay Brewery. The quiz would be great for the locals.
We could just skip doing the captions, which would be great because those were a pain in the ass.
So doing captions anyway? Yeah.
2-for-1, this would be perfect. Yeah.
How many photos did you have to go through to narrow it down to this book? We're talking thousands, right?
Yeah, I think there's about 200 photos in the book.
Okay.
I had a final, my best photos, maybe there were 100 that got cut maybe not even that. And
Okay.
was really good at
That we
putting
turned in
most of
and-
the really good photos in there. But yeah, I took, I don't even know how many, thousands for sure.
Right.
It was 4.5, 5 months of lots of picture taking.
I definitely looked at least 1,000 in the process. Yeah.
Did you guys
For a lot.
did you do this on weekends? You just
Yep.
travel around every weekend and
Yeah, we took some vacation. I mean, she was working full time. I was working part time. We planned our trips accordingly, and really, I think we got like 2 days of real vacation, maybe like real vacation, like in Yosemite, and that was the extent of it. But we were traveling. We hit up as many things as we could in a day and just make a go of it. And 3-4 day weekends.
Got it. It's a good way to write a book, man. Sounds like fun. All right, we got to take a break. It looks like I maybe have a question or two from the chat room. Is the book available on Amazon?
It is.
So someone's reminding me that you should click the Amazon link on our homepage, and then you go to Amazon and buy the book, and then you would be helping out Ken and Allie while simultaneously helping us out, while simultaneously ending up with a fantastic beer travel book.
That's the win-win-win.
Yeah, how about that? The trifecta of winning. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, a little more with Ken. We might attempt to do Drunk of the Week tonight. It's going to be difficult because we can't screen calls. That was a disaster last week.
It was.
But I'm a glutton for punishment, so we might give it a try. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
A vial of White Labs yeast is the key to your best beer. When you open a vial of White Labs yeast, you're giving your beer its best chance for a perfect fermentation. In addition to their already incredible variety of yeasts, White Labs is proud to announce WLP 90, San Diego's super yeast, now available year-round. WLP 90 is super clean, super fast fermenting, with low esters and has a neutral flavor and aroma profile. It's alcohol tolerant and highly flocculent. For more of the latest White Labs news, click over to whitelabs.com, where you can read reviews of yeast, learn in the lab section, and join the customer club. And if you should find yourself in San Diego, White Labs has a brand new training facility for craft brewers and home brewers alike. whitelabs.com. Discover yeast, nutrients, enzymes, and more for commercial breweries, home brewers, and homebrew stores. White Labs. It's all in the vial. By popular vote from the Northwest Brewing News, HopTech has been voted the best homebrew shop in Northern California. Serving homebrewers for nearly 30 years in Dublin, California, HopTech carries more than 40 different kinds of hops and more than 60 different grains. Malt extract, spices and sugars, hop oils and extracts. Open every day except Wednesday, or shop online anytime at hoptech.com or call 1-800-DRY-HOPS, 1-800-379-4677. With in-store classes almost every Saturday, huge selection and a dedicated commitment to their customers, HopTech is one of the longest-running and passionate homebrew stores, period. And now, by popular vote, the best homebrew shop in Northern California. And don't forget their 15% military discount. HopTech. Visit today at hoptech.com. When Blickman Engineering set out to design a great brewing stand, they knew it had to be strong, adaptable, and last for a lifetime. The top-tier brewing stand is now proudly available at BlickmanEngineering.com. It grows with your brewing skills and equipment. Start with 5-gallon coolers on its heavy-gauge stainless steel shelves. Then move all the way up to 30-gallon pots on the high-output burner tiers. Speaking of burners, the custom Blickman Engineering top-tier burners are extremely powerful, efficient, and amazingly quiet. They have safety stops to center your pot, and they'll last a lifetime and won't rust. The top-tier brewing stand allows virtually infinite combinations from traditional gravity systems to 2 tiers to completely horizontal. Configure your stand the way you want and have the freedom to change it at any time in the future. Your brewing stand should adapt with you, not force you to learn a new process. Visit BlickmanEngineering.com today to configure your top-tier brewing stand and to find a local Blickman retailer. You'll be surprised with all the flexible features and the competitive price. Start brewing with Blickman from the top tier.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
This summer, Reed Antis from New York won fully paid tuition to the 2012 World Brewing Academy Concise course in Brewing Technology, thanks to Lallemand and Danstar and their 2012 Beer School contest. It was so much fun, they're doing it again. Announcing Danstar's Beer School 2013 contest. From now until December 13th, 2012, every time you use Lallemand or Danstar Premium Brewing Yeast, your empty packet is your entry for a chance to win a professional brewing course. In the Beer School 2013 contest, Lallemand will sponsor 2 lucky winners, 1 professional brewer and 1 home brewer, in a random drawing for fully paid tuition to the 2013 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology worth nearly $4,000. This course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Get your official entry form and rules at danstaryeast.com. Get brewing with the dry yeast advantage from Lallemand and Danstar. Visit danstaryeast.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for any beer style. I want a Cicerone. The Cicerone certification program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Live. Beer Radio. The Brewing Network.
The Brewcasters.
If you're just starting, don't be discouraged by all this stuff. It's so easy. Just throw it together. Put some sugar and some water and some yeast in there.
Yeah.
The Brewing Network.
The Brewcasters are back.
888-401 beer.
Whatever.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome back to the program. Still hanging out with Ken Weaver and Allie Schmidt from the Craft Beer Guide. You guys married?
Yep.
But you kept your name, Allie.
Yeah, I'm modern.
Yeah. Weaver's a stupid name anyway.
It is pretty stupid. It doesn't work very well. It sounds like crap. Allie Weaver?
Allie
It
Weaver.
sounds terrible.
Allie Schmidt's nice. That's better. Very modern. How long you guys been married?
5 years.
Yeah. Happily married? How long you been happily married?
6 years.
One said 3, one said 6. I like that. Is that what I made that up? Don't worry, I didn't. Not trying to get anybody in trouble. All right, Moscow's going to show some of the photographs we've been raving about onto the camera. You can go to justin.tv/brewing network. And check them out there. We'll try to get some. But, the best way to see the photos is to get the book. And you can go to Amazon right now and do it. Just click our Amazon link on the homepage, brewingnetwork.com, and, look up the book, the Northern California Craft Beer Guide. It's pretty simple. And help us all out. But it's worth having. Whether you live in the Bay or you're going to come travel here, I would say get it. Of course, we're looking at a photo right now of the beautiful Anchor Steam Brewery. And look, you could take a Polaroid of that place, and it's going to come out good, right?
Honestly,
what an amazing brewery
gorgeous.
that place is really great. Now, did you notify the places that you were going to that you're coming to do these things, or just show up?
Not usually.
No.
I mean,
Page 125. I'm sorry.
Another good one.
Chad.
That's
Gotta
show
show
the
Chad.
Chad picture. Yeah, show Chad.
yeah, what page is that
125.
125.
Yeah, we got to show the lovely Chad in his tightest shirt.
He's all
Sans
like-
goatee.
He looks kind of corporate. Yeah, he's pretty
He
corporate
does look
now.
a little corporate in that. So yeah, did you let people know you were coming?
Only when we were going to do, usually only when we were going to do like longer stuff, like for Todd at 50/50, we knew we wanted to talk to him about barrel aging stuff and get more details. With Brian, we hung out with him over dinner and drank some beer at Brian Hunt. Things like that we knew we needed additional detail on. Yes. A lot of the other times we just, part of it was we just didn't want to, and it would have sort of curtailed our ability to travel and do these things. The other issue was, we just didn't have time, and it just didn't really make a lot of sense to sort of get that side of things. I mean, the net effect was mostly that it was hard to work into our schedule to hang out for three hours at somewhere we didn't need to.
Yeah.
But in the end result, we also got to see it a lot more from how the average person would see going in there. So.
Yeah. I think that's a better way to do it. I guess I was wondering partly because of the photo taking, if you really want to poke around behind the bar, maybe you just notify people once you're there, like, hey, we're doing this book.
Yeah, we asked permission before we took pictures.
Yeah. Got it.
Everywhere.
Very nice. You didn't have to have everybody sign a waiver in order to publish pictures and stuff?
Nope, not for something like this.
That's good. Yeah, because what a pain in the ass that can be. Everybody's got to sign something nowadays just to put something in a book, All right. Hey, real quick, if you're looking for brewing software, we were talking about a couple of Tasty's beers today, and Tasty's very particular about his recipes, and he puts them on all of his bottles so that we can discuss them, and you can discuss them when he shares the beer. Well, a great way to get your recipes done, of course, is Beersmith, the Beersmith brewing software. You can go to beersmith.com right now and check it out. There's always a free 21-day trial, so you don't even have to take our word for it. You can just go check it out, beersmith.com, and the upgraded version is pretty rad. I was with Doc for his brew day. I think I mentioned it on the last show, and he's using Beersmith now exclusively and just loves it. It's just got so many options. It's updated all the time. It's the only current and currently updated brewing software out there. So if you're looking for features, you can always even write to Brad and tell him about your ideas, and he loves to hear it. He's a real software guy and a real beer fan. So check it out, beersmith.com right now. Get your free 21-day trial, and then it's cheap to buy after that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of hacking, pirating software anyway, but a guy in the small industry that is beer, here is some real software that you should pay for. It's a guy who's living the dream and just, he quit his job, I think only like a year or two ago, to do this full time, and I think the product shows it. So go to beersmith.com, download your free trial, and check it out. You won't be disappointed, but if you are, you didn't pay a thing anyway, so go check that out. Also, if you're not a member of the AHA, you should be. You can sign up through our homepage. There's the AHA logo right in the bottom right. I get a lot of people telling me, like, oh, you always talk about the AHA. I don't see the logo on your page. There's no AHA banner on your page. You have banners blocked on your browser, you dummy. Stop writing to me about your blocked banner browser that you can't find the AHA logo. It's a banner, so your thing is blocking it. Unblock it, and then you'll see the AHA logo. It's bright, like white and yellow right there, bottom right of the page. You can click it. You can sign up for 1 year, 2 years, family membership, lifetime membership, any one of those things, and it helps us out. And you really should be in the AHA anyway if you're not, because if you're a home brewer, they're the ones looking out for you all the time. They're good people.
This is actually part of a greater point, Justin, because you don't ask your dad or write a talk radio host and ask them questions. Google the question, because whatever you're wondering, it has been answered, and you don't actually have to ask a real person. Just literally in the form of a question, type it into the Google.
This is an excellent point,
and there's your answer.
That's a great point. Quit bothering me, you people.
Can I start responding that way to the emails? Google it.
You know what, Justin? There's actually let me Google it for you. LM, literally, that's a website.
Oh, really?
Yes, and if you type in the question, you can send the person a link, and when they click on it, Google comes up. The cursor goes over to the search bar. The question gets typed in for them, and then the search results come up.
This is amazing.
Yes, let me Google that for you.
I like this. Yeah, it's like teach them how to fish, right?
Yeah. I get it all the time. Where's the AHA logo? Well, do you see any banners? No, it's weird. You always talk about them. It's because you blocked them. You shithead. Unblock it. Anyway, sign up for the AHA. It's a great thing to do. All right, I think I paid all the bills tonight, Moscow.
Ching ching.
Looks like we're getting some calls in, too, before we wrap things up. Do you have to go right away, Ken? Because it's Drunk of the Week time.
We get some time.
People get very excited about that. We tried it last week without a call screener, because we can't, without the booth being done in here yet, we can't really do that.
Mixed results.
It was somewhat disastrous. Let's see what happens. Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Jay, what's up, man?
What's happening, brother? Who's this?
This is, I can't tell you my real name right now. This is,
what are you out on the lam?
Yeah, I'm undercover and shit. This is Wes.
You're supposed to be home in bed, you're not.
Oh, it's Wes. Okay, got it. It's past Wes's bedtime. He's supposed to. I can't. Sorry. I'll alter your name in the app. We'll call you Wesley.
Call me Steven.
All right,
I
Wes.
called to try and get a hold of Susie because, tell her, hey, what's up? But she never answered my call.
What do you mean? I don't have a phone.
Right. Oh, you just wanted to call and talk
whatever.
to Susie. I see.
You can talk to her.
No, never mind.
Are you drunk, Wes? Steve? Wes Steve?
Well, sort of, yeah.
What have you been drinking?
Well, my good friend Kyle.
Yeah. You've been drinking your good friend Kyle.
It's a good friend.
Yeah. Been drinking my salty friend Kyle. All right.
Totally, yeah. It's a real salty brew.
Yeah.
No, it's been we've had a couple. I've had 4 or 5 double IPAs from his kegerator, some Coles, some single hop IPA. He's got it all. He's got a pretty good setup.
And you've had it all.
I've had a couple of each, if not more.
You've had all of Kyle tonight.
You're trying to put words in my mouth here. You're trying to put.
I like that Wes kind of giggles like a manly 13-year-old girl all the time. He's just giggly.
Yeah. So how's the show?
It's good, man. Thanks for asking. The show's good. We're just keeping it real.
We've been listening.
If you will.
Yeah, I bet you have. You guys always seem to do that.
Yeah.
We've been listening intermittently between driving around in a golf cart and hitting golf balls out of this orchard that Kyle lives in. We've just kind of been aiming in a direction where we don't think there are houses.
Wow. Kyle's kind of sounds like a mythical creature now at this point. No, we've been frolicking.
Well, you met Kyle.
I did?
Yeah. And NHC, he was on my team for Brewers Feud, man.
Oh, the twin. Yeah, I met Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the doppelgangers.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, Wes. Hey, you're in the running for Drunk of the Week, and so far, I think you've earned it.
Well, thank you, man.
All right, brother. Cheers. Thanks for calling.
All right, see you later.
There you go. Wes, everybody. Let's try this one. Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Theo Brew.
Steel Brew?
Yeah, Theo, like theology, like a pastor.
Oh, I didn't have that wrong.
Theo.
Are you a pastor?
No, I'm trying to be.
Really? This isn't going to help you. I'm going to tell you right now. This isn't going to calling this program is not going to further your cause.
No, but I told Susie I'd sing her a song.
Oh, all right.
Better be dirty.
Well,
otherwise.
All right.
Is she on there?
Yeah. Susie's right here. Susie,
she's ready.
There you go. Yeah, she's ready for your
I told
song.
her a Disney song. I was talking about Disney.
He was making fun of me because I had.
Hey, Theo Brew, they say that Jesus doesn't like gays. You sound a little,
Okay, last time I called in, you told me that I was gay. And no, Jesus loves the gays. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're a good theology student then. I like it. All right, Theo Brew, sing us a song.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a person who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you'll think, sure, they've got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's it's and what's it's galore. You want thingabobs? Think about fuck it. I got candy.
Hey, easy reference.
Wait, isn't this the guy who sang like Disney songs last time too?
Yeah, we wanted Yo Ho Yo Ho.
Yes, it
What
is.
song is that one? What is that? The Little Mermaid or
No,
something?
that's the Pirates.
Yes, it's Little Mermaid.
The one he just did is the Little Mermaid, right? Theo,
Yes.
bro, listen, you got to change your forum name and your theology.
Why?
You got to change it to Gay Brew. I told you the last time.
No, you didn't tell me last time we changed to Gay Brew. I would have.
How old are you? All right, would have, yeah. Evan, how old are you, Theo Brew?
We've gone over this last time. I'm 25.
I have a short memory. Now, when you say you're trying to be a pastor, what happens? Are you in school for that right now?
Okay, I just graduated my Master of Divinity.
No, that's right. We did go over this, didn't we? Yeah.
Drunk.
And now what? You have to
Yeah.
Now I'm drunk.
Do you have to take a test?
What have you been drinking tonight?
Okay, I've had a 32 ounce of Optimum. Optimum.
Yeah, you got it right. That's fine. We got you.
And I've got 32 ounce of Abita of the, oh gosh, what's it called? The Double Dog.
All right.
A vanilla Double Dog. And I'm halfway through 12 ounce of Uinta.
Yeah.
The barley wine.
And you live with your parents, right?
No, I'm by myself. Fuck you.
How dare you?
What makes you want to go to be a pastor?
Because Jesus is awesome.
All right. He doesn't mind you dropping F-bombs all the time?
No, come on. If Jesus were here, he'd be like,
"Fuck
over the
yeah,
show
brother!"
Jesus is home, bro.
Right.
You've gone over the whole, you've gone over the show before. Jesus is a home brewer. Oh my gosh, well, fuck yeah. No, I just.
And where do you live? I forget where you live again.
I'm from Atlanta. I'm in a week. I'm about to move back to Tampa.
Got it. All right. You should probably move to San Francisco.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great beer scene
out
here.
there, I'll do it.
Right. Well, I'll talk to Terrence the Black. He's a pastor. Pastor.
I know.
I don't know how to say it. Is it pastor?
Like Louis Pasteur.
Pastor.
Well, no. Terrence the Black is a pastor.
What's the difference between a reverend and a pastor?
The money.
It depends. Okay.
It's the money.
It fully depends on your denomination and who you are.
I see.
It's the priests that get all the money.
Oh, yeah, there's the priest, there's a reverend, there's a pastor.
Evangelist. Those guys
there's
get the
like
money.
a million of them.
Can you give us a quick sermon, like a couple sentences? Are you one of these animated guys?
Yeah, sure.
Give me a couple lines. What do you got?
All right. And Ephesians 21:8 says that God threw the grain into the water. And you know what the water says? The water and the grain mean that water and grain and yeast make beer. And the beer gaveth to the world to enjoy it.
Hallelujah.
Amen, brother.
Right. All right. Kind of sounds like the only white guy in the Alabama Congress clips that we play.
Yeah, or one of those fat white guys from Deep Cable at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Are you a member of the 700 Club, for example? Have you know this 700 Club, right? It's on late night. Do you know how you get? Do you know how you? Have I told you this before? How you become a member of the 700 Club?
How?
It's been on for years. You pay $700.
Oh,
I'm not fucking around. It's a religious thing that's on late night, and the way you become a part of the 700 Club is to donate $700.
Is there a 1,000 Club?
I think the BN should start the 1,000 Club.
Yeah, we should.
The 1,000 Club.
The 1,000 Club. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You could interview Oprah. You know Oprah's been interviewed.
All right, that's enough out of you.
That's Oprah.
All right, Theo Brew, you're in the running for Drunk of the Week.
Certainly is.
Amen.
All right, caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
This is Mantroll from Texas.
Hey, what? Man-child?
Mantroll.
Man-troll.
Man-troll. Got it. What was I thinking?
Yeah, I was not blessed with good looks, so Mantroll is my name.
Has that been your name since you were a kid, then?
Since high school.
Wow.
When your true ugliness came out.
Sorry, your initial name is what?
Un.
No.
for unattractive.
Jesus, really?
I like how you've accepted your
Owned
lot in
it,
life.
yeah.
though.
Yeah, at least you're squaring up with it.
You got to own it, right? Though, if people have really like, wow, you know what?
Yeah.
You probably even realize this, so we're just going to give you a nickname.
Are you?
Yeah, you got to own it.
Are you married, man troll?
Yeah, she's not that bright.
Right. She's also blind. Yeah. Oh, hey, good for you. I like man troll already.
Well,
I could hang out with you. You're an honest guy.
She might not be bright, but is she good looking? Did you go up in number?
Right.
Oh, yeah, there's always a reacher and a settler. I was a reacher, she was a settler.
Wow. All right. Are you calling in for a drunk of the week?
No, I'm not that drunk yet.
Okay.
Just a couple quick questions, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Allie, one for Allie. Are you ever considering a decrease on the AC inverter costs? I view that as a real big bottleneck for solar power.
Right. I'm glad we're discussing
I was curious
this.
about the same thing, actually.
Yeah. Go ahead, Allie.
I don't know if this is the right time to talk about that.
If it's quick, you can answer, sure.
Yeah.
If you know the topic.
The panels are going down, or the inverter's going down, the same way.
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely not decreasing as quickly. I think that's something they're working on in the industry. I'm not a researcher. I'm a consultant, so I'm not sure I could say exactly how that's going.
I'm going to say DC microgrid, so I'm going to throw that out there. Get rid of the inverter entirely. Yeah.
That'd
yeah.
be nice.
That's all I got.
Got it.
That's my quick answer.
Oh, have a DC subgrid.
DC microgrid, subgrid. Do that.
Hey, can you two help me put solar on my Westie? It's just a little van, a couple panels, no big deal.
I don't know what
Sure,
you're gonna use it for up there.
absolutely. I mean, we can't guarantee any of the outcome, but we'll totally do it.
Right. The thing's already a fire hazard. All right. Did you have another question, Mantrol?
Yeah, just one quick shout-out.
Sure.
I'm a new uncle. My nephew was born 4 hours ago, so I just want a quick shout-out to Aiden Davis. Uncle Ed loves you.
Congratulations. May you not be as ugly as Uncle Ed, Aiden.
Get the other gene.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thanks for the call, man.
Hey, appreciate it, guys.
Cheers. All right, let's try another one. It's working a little bit this week, Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hello?
Hey, buddy. What's going on? Who are we talking to?
This is Kyle from Stumpy Tubs.
From Stumpy Tubs. Didn't we do this joke
Yeah,
already? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Wait, joke? What are you? No. See, Stumpy Tubs.
Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
This is Snowgoon 99.
This is what?
Winner.
Sorry, man. This is my name's Steve, but on the forum it's Snowgoon 99.
Snow goo?
Snowgoon. Is that a
Snowgoon? Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes reference?
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Good.
Totally.
Oh my
right
God!
on.
You totally get me.
Oh, man, at least I didn't make a world of
you know totally get me.
It's something
Exactly.
about this chair makes you make nerdy references.
Right.
Yeah, at least it wasn't
JP
World of
chair.
Warcraft.
Yeah, right. Exactly, man.
All right, Snow Goon. What have you been drinking, man?
Dude, shit. I started off with a Lagunitas Lucky 13. That was fucking awesome.
No.
And then from then I had a shit ton of my pale ale that I made, and then I had a shit ton of these old fashions that I made because I was tired of the pale ale. So
You are JP.
yeah, like bourbon and shit. Yeah, it was good.
Is there a such drink as a newfangled?
Yeah.
Is there really?
Yeah.
What's in it?
There is. I don't remember, but there is a newfangled.
I'd like to have one.
Yeah. Snow Goon, you a stoner?
No. I'm just from Maine, so it's in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just.
I heard that shit's everywhere, though.
Right.
Especially in the middle of nowhere.
We all sound like this from Maine. So you haven't been smoking?
Yeah, right.
You haven't been smoking weed tonight?
No, not at all. Just I had a shit ton of drink. I don't know.
All right.
It's very late here. It's like midnight and shit.
Almost.
Very Maine-like. All right.
After midnight.
Well, Snow Goon, you sound drunk to me. You're in the running for Drunk of the Week, my friend.
I'm fairly drunk, my friend. Fairly drunk.
If how do your friends know when you're drunk? What behavior do you start to exhibit first?
Oh, first it's the stumbling and the voice It's very stoner-ish.
Right.
And
right.
We were picking up on
that.
I don't sound like this normally. I'm not gonna lie.
And tomorrow, Snowgoon's like, well, hello, it's nice to meet you. I've been, researching all night long and getting things done. All right.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, it's just like, well, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm from fucking Maine, man. All right, brother, you're in the running for Drunk of the Week. Thanks for the call, dude.
Thank you, man.
Later. All right. Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Kyle from Stumpy Tubs.
Hey, Kyle, what's happening?
Not much. I just wanted to thank you for being a sponsor of Spankfest.
Spankfest was good. You're welcome.
Oh, no problem. You and Nico Brew come.
All right.
One more.
Caller, you're on the air. Who are we talking to? Last one. What's happening?
Hey, is this Justin?
Yeah, this is Justin. Who are we talking to?
We didn't call you.
Hey, Justin, this is Sam Caldoni.
Oh, it's Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Sam. I thought I recognized you.
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
I'm just traveling a little bit, and I thought it'd be a good time to call in and give you a heads up on one of my new beers.
It is a good time. We were just talking about you earlier in the program.
Yeah, and I always like to hear about your new beers. Go ahead.
That's pretty serendipitous.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I heard you talking about a film strip, and we recently filmed a film strip documentary on our new beer, and I'd like to tell you about it.
Okay.
So it's called Dressing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah, we're on the edge of our seats here. We're listening.
Right.
Didn't want to interrupt.
Well, I'm going to describe this beer, but I'm going to need total, complete radio silence.
Of course.
This is an organic beer. We're going a new route with Dogfish, and the ingredients were developed during the Industrial Revolution, which have historically supported global population growth. So we thought it'd be a good idea to begin with a synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. The ingredients for this beer, if you're interested, I'm going to try to bring it down a little bit. The malts are 2-row, nitrogen, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, chlorine, copper, Valerian steel, iron, and molybdenum and zinc. Now, the hops for this beer are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Tettnang, Columbus Zeus, Tomahawk, all at 120 minutes into the boil. Do you have any questions at this point? Or
no, the malt bill was interesting. Classified. I didn't know many of those things were classified as malts.
Yeah,
but
copper. Weird.
Sure.
But no, carry on.
I understand. You don't know a lot about Dogfish Head and beer and stuff. So the micronutrients that we're adding to this beer are nitrogen, boron, public pool chlorine, and ammonium nitrate. We do add adjuncts. This beer includes fish emulsion, rototilled soybeans, pitbull mucus, redwood shavings, and pygmy marmoset retinas from the smallest monkeys in the world. This beer is fermented with Mayan doomsday calendar saliva, which I'm sure your producer Scott is familiar with.
Yes, of course he is. He's Jewish, after all.
Are you listening? Or?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're writing it down.
I couldn't tell because you're so quiet. This beer is going to be aged in stone fermentation tanks that are shaped like deformed human heads. Now, not only is this beer an amazing beer, but it grows incredible tomatoes. Now,
all the nitrogen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, this beer
Sam,
may
you always
be,
outdo yourself.
I have to say, tasty for you especially. This beer may be considered poisonous for humans in small concentrations, but the FDA is still running clinical trials on this beer. So I'm really excited for its release. We're going to release it in small quantities and vials shaped like White Labs vials that I'm sure everyone.
Yeah.
And we're just going to randomly place them in vials. And I really think it's going to be something that's going to start a new revolution. Yeah. As you know, Dogfish Head likes to make beers that are historically accurate, and this beer is a historical representation of fertilizer that was used. That's why we call it dressing, which is a synonym for fertilizer. As you know, synonym means same.
Thank you. Yes, I
Is this
do.
a collaboration?
Any other questions? Or
is this a collaboration beer with Stone?
not with Stone necessarily. It's a collaboration beer with, I'm sure you're familiar with the National Syndicate who creates seeds that do not replicate.
Monsanto.
Oh, Monsanto, yeah.
Sure, it's a Monsanto Dogfish Head collaboration.
Sounds great.
Appropriate.
Well, I can't wait till the FDA approves it and it hits the market.
Well, let's hope they do, yeah.
Those clinical trials sound important.
We're not shooting for FDA approval in this case. We're just shooting for something for our tomato grove.
Well, you must be expanding your tomato grove. Yeah, I see that you're putting in new tanks. So,
well, we've added several tomato fermentation tanks. I think it's going to be really exciting. As you can tell, I'm extremely excited. I'm jumping out of my socks. Literally jumping out. Have you ever tried jumping out of your socks? Because it's not easy, but I can do it because I'm in incredible shape as a former Ralph Lauren model.
Right.
As you know.
Yes, I do know, yes.
Because I'm incredibly attractive and in incredible shape due to my rowing.
Rowing will do it every time.
Some people call it sculling, but I call it rowing. So that's all I got for you today, guys. But I just appreciate the time, and I'm just exhausted.
Well, listen, take a break, Sam. It's too much already. Take a break.
Well, I'm going to suggest that you take a break, and that's my comeback for the day.
Okay.
And from now on, I want you to call me the Choctaw.
Okay. The Choctaw, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Hey,
all right.
Man, always pushing the envelope over there, Dogfish.
Yeah.
He's thinking outside the box again.
Right. All right, we have 3 candidates for Drunk of the Week. I'm ending our Drunk of the Week calls now.
Oh, okay.
We've got Wes Steve. West Steve.
West Steve, yes.
Steve called
Wes.
in.
Wes didn't call, but Steve did.
He had everything that his friend Kyle had to offer to drink tonight. Is basically what I got out of that. Then, of course, we had Theo Brew, who sang a Little Mermaid song to Susie. Was that per your request, Susie, or did he just offer it up?
He offered to sing a song for me.
He did.
Did it do anything for you?
Susie's a big Little Mermaid fan. He also had a lot of double IP, a lot of 32-ounce beers is what he had.
What's that about? How do you drink 32 ounces?
I don't know.
Is that a half growler?
Do you think maybe he meant 22 ounces and he's just stupid?
Yeah, maybe he is drunk. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a container that...
Because he said he had a 32-ounce Optimum and a 32-ounce... He must have meant 22.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. Odd. Anyway.
This is their half growlers.
Oh, he was having half... Come on. He had half growlers? How do you get a half growler of Optimum?
Pretty rare.
Of Optimum.
You just have to drink 2 in a row.
Is that what it is?
Spill
Right.
some.
2 half growlers.
All right, well, he was well drunk. I mean, I'll give him that.
I'll give him that, yeah, for sure.
I'm very curious about this guy, the theology, because he's. I thought Terrence was liberal, but this guy's calling in Drunk of the Week. He's dropping F-bombs.
He wants to take me to Disneyland.
Okay, talk into the mic. What's with the microphone in between you and Paul? Just put it where it's supposed to be. Thank you. Jesus. Trying to run a radio show over here, Susie.
Sorry.
Carry on. What were you saying?
Oh, no. He offered to take me to Disneyland.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah, go to Disney World.
Well, I don't know that you'll come back from that trip.
I don't think so either.
I think he would cut you up and eat you.
He might brew with me.
Really?
Out of me.
He might brew. You're right. He might brew with you.
Ferment, and you are the vessel.
Yeah.
You're the car boy, car girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Here, ferment this, Susie. I'm just going to dump this in you. Yeah. I wouldn't.
Mine can't go that far, but okay.
I mean, he sounds nice enough, but I would worry about that. I don't know that I'd go on a trip with Theo Brew. You know, he might sacrifice you. That's what I think would happen. Kyle called in, but I think that Kyle was West Steve.
Oh, was that what it was? Something was going on there.
Either way, it was just annoying, so we're not going to put him in the running. So your third candidate is Snowgoon, who self-described he had a shit ton of a lot of things. Lucky 13, I can't read my own writing, some other things like that. He had a lot of beer.
He had a pale ale that he made himself.
Oh, right. He was pretty slurry right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And didn't he accurately describe himself that he turns into sounds like a stoner as soon as he starts drinking?
Yes. Was he the super ugly one?
No, that was Mantroll, but Mantroll didn't want to be in the running for Drunk of the Week. He just wanted to know about AC converters.
That's right.
Yeah, very important today. See, we cover all the issues here. You know, you're welcome back anytime to talk about solar with us. We've discussed President Obama tonight.
Yeah, we covered all.
Solar. I think we talked about anal a little bit when doing the Adam and Eve.
Asians, amateur.
We did talk about Asian. We talked about playing Asian or stupid.
Yeah.
And asleep or Asian.
Asian-based games.
Yeah. As usual, we have covered everything on this program.
We're going to cover capital punishment in the next segment.
Yes, exactly. All right. So 3 candidates. We have West Steve, Theo Brew, and Snow Goon in the running.
Have 2 candidates. Theo Brew is taking him out of the running because he's already won. He just wanted to sing to me.
He can't take himself. He's in the running if we say he's in the running.
He can't take himself out of the running.
He can win multiple times.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get to be Drunk of the Year.
Yes.
I mean, Theo Brew's career is really off to a good start, I think. He's on his way to Drunk of the Year. He doesn't have a job, and he's looking to work in the spiritual industry, yet he's calling into the Sunday session on a regular basis. I have high hopes for Theo Brew.
That's how you get in with God, unemployment and drunkenness.
Sure. I'm kind of with Theo Brew. Like, listen, the man must have had a sense of humor, He must have invented the F-bomb. It's here, isn't it?
That's right.
So, there you have it. All right, so raise your... We're going to do it by show of hands. Our guests always get to vote as well. Susie, of course, you get the honorary 2 votes, being in the beef chair. So West Steve, Theo Brew, and Snow Goon are our candidates once again. Raise your hand if West Steve is the Drunk of the Week.
I'm just voting for him because he let me play with his hair.
Oh.
Okay.
He looked like Blake from Workaholics.
Yeah, that's what Doc says about him. Yeah, we met Wes at NHC.
Yeah.
And
I know Kyle makes good shit because I had a lot of it. He got me really drunk.
Right.
For those who don't know Workaholics, it's the super long, curly mane of blonde hair.
Yeah. And also, you'll be seeing very soon, Wes did some design. He's a graphic designer that did some design work for the BN that you're going to see in a new product that we're putting out probably next week. And he did a great job on it. So, but there you go. That's not a testament to how drunk he is. Anyway, Susie Q voted for you, West Steve. So there you go. Raise your hand if Theo Brew is your Drunk of the Week. Oh, surprising. Sorry, Theo. Not one single vote. Although we all think he was inebriated, right?
Oh,
yeah. But it sounds like he didn't beat. Raise your hand if Snow Goon is your Drunk of the Week. Oh, yeah. It's unanimous.
Wow.
There you go. Snow Goon. You are Drunk of the Week, sir. Yeah, good job. And just in time, it appears that Blobberglop is calling into the program. Blueby, what's happening, man?
Hello.
This is our first Blobberglop call from the new studio. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
That's good. What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing.
Draw me a picture, Blob.
Are you drunk?
Yes.
Does anybody else... now, Moscow, listen. You should sign up for Facebook just to follow Blobberglop, because the man lives a very peculiar lifestyle.
He sounds riveting.
As you can imagine.
If his posts are anything like this phone call, I can't believe I'm missing it.
I find it hard to understand if you ever work, Blobberglop.
I work a very unusual schedule where I work 6 months out of the year, so I work basically half the year.
Oh, so you just work like a lot of hours for half the year.
Exactly.
And based on your activity lately, it's clearly your off time.
Yes, I work like 5 days, and then I work 4. Then I get 4 days off, and then I work 4 days, and I get 5 days off, and basically that's pretty much it.
All right, I don't need your life story. I just want to know if you're working or not working.
I'm not working, no, because I'm drinking.
See, thank you, Blobberglop. Blobberglop, would you like to defend Canada after the recent feedback we've been getting from Canada?
I don't know what's happening in Canada. Can you tell me?
Well, we've gotten some very angry emails about our commercials from.
Oh yes, well, Tim, do what I do. You just kind of go get a beer when the ads are on, and.
Well, that's not helpful, is it?
Well, why don't you listen to them and then buy the product?
Right.
Jesus.
Well, I do all that already, of course, because I strongly support the Brewing Network and all the people who send money to them.
Not you, Blobber, the universal you.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Blue, you're boring me to death tonight. What are you drinking? You got sedatives in your whiskey?
What?
Right.
All I heard was ook.
I said you're boring me to death tonight. Are you on sedatives?
No, I'm almost.
That was it. He passed out.
I think he just passed out. I'm almost.
Can I sing a song?
Absolutely, sing us a song.
No Disney though, please.
No.
Do you need backup music?
No, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throat. She cut your hair.
Oh, I know
I
this.
said no Disney.
Wait. Stop. First of all, we should have a new game. And it should be Name That Tune with Blooby Gloop. And he should pick, like, random song. And it would be great. I know this fucking song. Hang on, Bloob. Don't tell me. Oh, it's Hallelujah by, is it Jeff Beck that did it originally? I forget who. But it's Hallelujah, right, Bloob?
Baby, I have been here before. I know this room. I've walked this floor. I've used something. Hallelujah.
There you go. See?
Impressive.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Blobber. Just turn it down a little bit. Moscow, I want you to email Bloob during the week and create Name That Blobby tune for us.
Yeah.
And we'll play it at the end of one show.
The next game will be the Guess the Fucked Up Product from Amazon, but the game after that, Name That Bloob tune.
Love it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
All right, Blob. Good job, buddy. Thanks, man.
Keep going.
Thank you. Okay. I'm getting another Skype call. Should we take it? Aaron's on the line. Aaron, what's happening?
This is Theo, bro.
He knew how to circumvent the phone system. He called in on Skype.
Who didn't vote for me?
We had your number blocked.
Yeah, nobody voted for you, man. You got shut out.
Why not?
You got totally shut out.
Do you want another song?
I'm not sure the song was helping. I think that Snowgoon was just a little drunker.
But it's the fucking song. Jesus.
All right. Thank you, Snowgoon. That is all for
thanks
Drunk
for
of
the parting words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
Right. All right, everybody. I think our work here is done. I would like to thank our guests today, not only for being in the studio, but for putting up with us. Thank you, Ken and Allie. It's great to have you here.
Thanks.
The book is the Northern California Craft Beer Guide. You can find it on Amazon right now. Any place else that you'd like to promote that people can find it?
Indie bookstores should have it, and in Barnes & Noble, any of those places. And,
good.
And you can check your local homebrew shop. And if it's not there, you can say, hey, it'd be nice to have this.
Good idea. And what about a website for this?
We're working on that, and it's going to be northernCaliforniaCraftBeer.com.
Okay.
It links to our Facebook page now. Once that's up and running, we're going to have a one-page PDF with updates that people can print out, tuck it in the cover of the book, like major closings and openings. So
Got it.
Keep it updated.
All right. If you're planning to travel to the Bay Area or to Northern California, or if you live here, go to Amazon right now, and you can do that by clicking the Amazon link at our homepage. And buy the book. I highly recommend it. It's really a well done. You guys have done a good job on this. I can't wait for more beer stuff out of you, too.
I think it said it's low on copies, but there's more already headed out there. So if it says sold out,
it's a marketing tool. Make us
I think
buy
they do
quickly.
that. I've noticed how those numbers work. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, low on quantities. Meanwhile, there's like a warehouse full back there.
But those are in warehouse B. There's only 2 left in warehouse A. It's
right.
different.
Exactly. All right, great job. Thanks for being on the show, you two. We want to thank Stu Stewart for being on the program also. And I can't wait to find out about JP's time with the president next week.
Me neither.
You know, I think you ought to prepare a list of questions, Moscow, that you have for our Republican friend.
Already got him in my head.
And how how his time went.
He does. He does not admit that he's a conservative, though. I've in many private conversations, I've tried to show him just a mirror, basically, and he doesn't admit it.
But this is part of why I can't talk politics with JP. It's not just because we don't necessarily see eye to eye on things. It's that he's delusional, and he's clearly. I mean, he's the Rush Limbaugh of Northern California.
He's a conservative.
He's a total conservative.
Admit it.
Yeah, but he won't admit it. He doesn't. What does he say he is?
He keeps saying he's nothing. He's like, I don't align myself with either one of those retarded.
Which is ridiculous.
Like, that's not. But then I ask him 10 questions about 10 different topics, and he gives me conservative answers on 9 of them.
Right. I mean,
just saying, own it.
Yeah, he's a Republican. He's the only Republican on earth who owns nothing and has nothing and is totally broke.
Well,
he does own his house. I take it back.
I always try and say, you don't even have to say you're a Republican, Jip. Say you're a conservative. Like, avoid the political party, but at least just admit what you're. No, he doesn't want to do it.
I don't align myself. That's fine. It's like, Jamil used to say, it's like brewers when they go, oh, I don't brew to style. I brew my own beer. Like, I brew a Pilsner, but it's black, and it's called a Schwarzbier. And so JP does the same thing in politics. I'm not a conservative. Right. I go my own way.
Exactly.
Yeah, except that everything you say is conservative.
Right.
You're the only poor Republican. You should write a book called The Only Poor Republican.
And then the entire middle of the country full of poor Republicans will buy it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, everybody. Thanks once again. Go check out the Northern California Craft Beer Guide on Amazon. Thanks to Stu Stewart from Belgian Beer Me. And thanks to our wonderful staff here at the Brewing Network for being here and putting on more programming this week. We'll see you later. Cheers.